There are 3 easy steps in creating your resume link. Let me show you how.
Step 1. Register. Go to www.jobs180.com using any browser and click Register Now. Fill out all the information needed. In choosing your resume link, use your full name so that it looks professional and it's easy to recall by potential employers. For example, Antonio Juan de la Cruz.jobs180.com. Step 2. Create and design. When creating your resume, make sure to complete your personal information and upload your profile picture. One of the highlights of the resume link is the portfolio section. In the portfolio section, you can show off your skills by uploading samples of your work like documents, pictures, videos, and your social media links.
Your resume link also features different themes and you can upload a cover photo. This is a combination of a cover letter and a social network cover photo. Here is an example. You can also download a copy of your resume link and print it. Step 3. Apply for a job. There are many ways to apply with your resume link.
First is browsing the job recommendations in your Jobs 180 dashboard.
If you're qualified, click Submit Resume Link. So what are you waiting for? Dress up your next generation resume, stand out brightly among the competitive job seekers in the market, and win the heart of your future employers using Resume Link.
Jollibee Foods Corporation is one of the largest and fastest growing Asian restaurant companies in the world. Home to formidable brands with Jollibee at the helm. It operates over 5,800 stores spanning 35 countries across Asia, North America, and Europe. From its humble ice cream house beginnings to becoming a dominant industry leader, JFC's business model has sustained profitable growth for 4 decades, evidenced by its steadily increasing net sales, profit, and stock market performance. It is the recipient of numerous international accolades, from Best Employer to Most Outstanding Corporation, to Asia's most admired company. JFC continuously gives back to the communities it operates in through the Jollibee Group Foundation. Its core programs are centered on food security, alleviating hunger so children can continue their schooling, and connecting small farmers to sell their produce to large institutions to uplift their livelihood. Through consistent taste superiority, outstanding value for money, and the highest quality of food, service, and cleanliness, coupled with the talent and commitment of its world-class organization expanding across the globe, JFC delivers on its mission to bring the joy of eating to everyone. Taking it closer to its vision of becoming one of the top 5 restaurant companies in the world. This is Jollibee Foods Corporation.
Happy Friday, everyone! Welcome to Marketing Me. We are live today for the University of San Jose, Recoletos, and Cebu. So today we have speakers joining us from Oracle Philippines, Probe, and Shearwater Health Advisors. So before we start, feel free to join us for the opening prayer and the national anthem.
Praise God from whom all blessings flow. Praise Him, all creatures here below. Praise Him above the heavenly host. Praise Father, Son, and Holy Ghost.
Mga kababayan, ang pambansang awit ng Pilipinas.
They say college life is the best part of your life. But where are you going to spend your college life at? Here in the University of San Jose Recoletos, you can feel at home. Here, you're not just a student, you're family.
Studying for your bachelor's degree has never been more fun. with the memories that you'll surely make with your best friends along the way.
And the winner is contestant number 4.
You can make your college life the best part of your life here at the University of San Jose, Recoletos.
We inspire, and that's not all. We believe in quality Christian community-oriented education. We transform our lives and transform others. Here at USJR, we have over 12 colleges and departments. We have a diverse range of students coming from different parts of the country and the world.
Now you know where you're going to spend your college life at, but what's going to be the best degree program for you?
The College of Engineering offers high-quality training and high-tech facilities. So, if you're looking for a stable engineering career after graduation, it's easy at USJR.
Wow! The College of Information, Computer and Communication Technology has innovativeness at heart, with its students winning national awards for the best smartphone apps. The future is truly now at CICCP.
The College of Nursing is equipped with advanced facilities to give you a feel of the real world. The service-oriented trainings in USJR make our nursing graduates in demand.
Education graduates from USJR go on to make an impact and positive changes in the society. You too can soon make an important difference to the lives of your future students.
Discover new horizons in the different fields of knowledge and maximize your skills in communication in the College of Arts and Sciences.
USJR's College of Commerce leads by example by consistently producing top-notchers in board exams. With high-quality training, your keen sense of good business practices will help you become successful in the business industry.
But it's definitely more fun in USJR because there's so much more that you can do. And get a scholarship doing what you love.
Whether you're in engineering or nursing, you can still have time for your favorite hobbies. You can dance, sing, write, and serve, and become an athlete. You also get scholarships if your grades meet the requirements. USJR also offers the Reed Scholarships for working students.
Because in USJR, we believe in our values to inspire others in the face of adversity. We put God in the center of everything that we do by helping others and answering the call to serve, by being thoughtful and truthful in the things we do, by going beyond our limitations, and by being the best versions of ourselves for the best of our community.
In USJR, college life is more than just studying.
It's definitely going to be the best part of your life.
Because in USJR, we inspire. Adelante!
Like the sun rising in the east, we shine brightly and never cease. Like the clouds formed in the sky, we move forward, united up high, upholding our integrity. Life with profound interiority, with values embodied, we thrive. To inspire is what we strive. Wherever our roads and paths may lead to, our alma mater, our home is you. Forward, let us move to a journey to excellence and the service. We work with competence. Forward, let us move with deep faith and trust. We all believe that Recoletos never leaves. It is with great pride, and now we all unite as we commemorate. Let's celebrate. The aim for pioneerism, the value of nationalism, motivated to be better, to be wiser, stronger and bolder. Reliability is instilled, ready to serve. We we are strong-willed. Towards global competitiveness, great knowledge and passion we possess. Wherever our roads and paths may lead to, our alma mater, our home is you. Forward, let us move to a journey to excellence, and in service we work with competence. Forward, let us move with deep faith and trust. We all believe that Recoleto never leaves. It is with great pride, and now we all unite as we commemorate. Let's celebrate. Many stories have been told wherever we are across the world. Tatak Recoleto, pride of the nation, molded from holistic transformation. We commemorate and honor you. Darrell, no matter we stay true. We are one in this great occasion, the Diamond Jubilee celebration.
Okay, welcome everyone. So to officially open our session for this morning, we would like to invite Reverend Father Antonio S. Limchaipo, OAR, Vice President for Administration for USJR, to give us the opening remarks.
Choose a job you love and you will never have to work a day in your life. That was Confucius' saying. To our esteemed resource speakers, organizers, and career program partners, our graduating students to the different departments of our senior high and tertiary level, our online viewers on Facebook and YouTube, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. I am delighted to welcome you for today's webinar on job hunting for our graduating students. Weeks or months from now, another batch of college graduating students will be trying to join the workplace, while our senior high school grade 12 students will be at the great point in their lives to start thinking about their future. The Student Development and Placement Center, in collaboration with Jobs 180, is hosting this job hunting webinar to address the career development needs and preparations of our students. It is aimed to help them secure future jobs and how to navigate their way into another arena of learning, which is called the work life. We know that in the world today, many companies have the same mindset, which is to have the best people who are lifetime learners and good corporate citizens. Young graduates will soon face job search challenges such as stiff competition, uncertainty, little to no work experience, and fast-changing technology. Undeniably, job hunting is a very tedious task. And today we are so grateful to have our resource speakers who will be sharing tried and tested success pointers that will teach them on how to build their career paths, with emphasis on how to search for the right and most suitable career. By being proactive and having the right support and resources, it is possible to find a job that fits your competencies and interests. So keep searching until you attain your dream job. Once again, I welcome you to this webinar, and I hope that you will have an engaging and enriching session ahead. beneficial to your future venture. Thank you and adelante.
Thank you for that. We'd also like to thank the team behind the placement office for coordinating the event with us and for fixing all of the things back end. So thank you so much. So as usual, to our audience, we'd like to know where you're from. We'd like to know your name and year and course. Put it in the chat. Put it in the comment section and later type in your questions so we can answer them after the talk. So if your friends are not here yet, please tag them so they don't miss out on this event. Attendance and evaluation will be released at the end of this webinar. So please share this with your friends. The recordings of this webinar will also be posted via the jobs180.com Facebook and YouTube channel. So here is our schedule for this for this afternoon. So we will be discussing job applications using the Resumelink. This will be presented by jobs180.com. We have answering interview questions to be presented by Oracle, top skills employers look for to be presented by Probe, and the new year of work to be presented by Shearwater Health Advisors. So thank you to those who came in on time. Please comment your name and your course dun sa ating comment section, and we'll try to answer your questions after each speaker's talk. Yeah. So let's go to our first speaker. So our first speaker for this morning is Sir Kim Chua. He is the managing director of jobs180.com. He has 20 years of experience in sales, marketing, business development, customer service, operations, business process, and human resources. He is a trusted resource speaker, and he has done over 1,000 career development seminars in more than 400 plus colleges and universities nationwide. So, Sir Kim, if you're ready, I'll give you the floor. Please take it away.
Allow me to share to you how to make a job-winning resume. Yan. A lot of you are now looking for a job and exploring for the next chapter in your life. I hope that this session will be able to help you. Not only you, but the people that you know that needs help in terms of how to make a job-winning resume. Yan. So yan na tinatawag nating Resumelink. A lot of platforms right now, mga online platforms are being offered left and right. But for you to know paano to magiging job-winning tool or job-winning resume to, meron akong checklist. So go with me, with all these checklists. Your checklist should include the following. Number 1, kailangan mag-stand out ka. When you look for a job, you have to be able to stand out. Because if you're not going to be able to stand out, then I think you'll just be part of the crowd. You'll be one of the next applicant na wala lang, na hindi mapapansin. Another thing that should be in your checklist is that you should only have one file. Hindi dapat maraming files na iba-iba sinesend sa mga companies. Mas maganda, isang file lang para pag sinend mo, lahat ng details mo nandoon na. Another thing in your checklist is that it should make the process more efficient. Ibig sabihin, mas mabilis mag-submit, mas mabilis makita ng HR, at mas mabilis kayo makontak for possible next steps na or possible job offer na. Now, another thing in my checklist is that dapat tipid ito, wala itong gastos. The tool that I will show you today, wala itong gastos. Libre po ito. At higit sa lahat, itong pinaka-importante sa lahat, this should be in your checklist. The tool should be secured. Okay, more than anything, importante talaga ang data. Pero ang data ninyo, dapat yung proteksyonan. And using this tool, this is the most secured resume kung tawagin. Bakit siya tinawag na most secured resume? Let me go through the next slides na. Okay? Ito ang tinatawag na Resumelink. Okay? A personalized URL for anyone can open online anytime. I will use an example para makarelate kayo. If you are John Santos, ang link mo or resume link mo pwede maging johnsantos.jobs180.com. Ganun lang kasimple. At yan na po ang resume link nyo. So how do you make one? Go with me through the 3 simple steps. First step is you have to register. Absolutely, wala tong bayad. Libre po ito. How do you register? You go to the website of jobs180.com. That's www.jobs180.com at dun ka mag-register on the upper right side of your screen. Now, as you do that, you have to put the basic information. Okay? So, alam nyo na ano mga information yan. Hindi ko na isa-isahin. Babawasan nyo naman at alam nyo naman ano dapat ilagay. Now, as you create your account, you have to use a valid email. Okay? Now, before we go to the email, paalala ko lang, sa mga nag-isip sa inyo, paano kung hindi ako si John Santos, ano gagawin kong resume link? O yan, baka nag-isip kayo eh. So, if ever lang, meron kang kapangalan. Okay, just so happen na may ibang John Santos na nauna sa inyo, ano mangyayari? Magkakaroon doon na red na box, sasabihin niya, this name has already been taken. Huwag kayong malungkot pag taken na, okay lang, just be creative. Pwede mo gawin, baliktarin mo. Gawin mo santosjohn.jobs180.com o kaya J Santos o kaya Santos J o kaya JS o kaya SJ. Depende kung ano gusto mo gawin. Basta importante, wala kang kapangalan. Okay, wala kang kapareho. Now, when you do this, huwag kayong OA. Do not create yung mga ganong klaseng over creative na mga resume link because it doesn't look professional. Imagine submitting to a company with your resume link that says eljablo.jobs180.com. Hindi yan mukhang professional. Okay? Now, when you register, please use a valid email. Ito yung emphasis ko lang sa pag-create nyo ng account na dapat gamitin yung email, yung nabubuksan yung email, kagaya ng Gmail, Yahoo, or any email na nabubuksan nyo. Do not create, example lang yung mga email na kagaya ng ganito, patricia@facebook.com na email. Huwag kang gagamit ng joseph@facebook.com na email to register. In short, huwag mong gagamitin yung @facebook.com na email. Because if you use @facebook.com na email, you will no longer be able to receive notification being sent to you by the companies as well as jobs180.com. Importante po na nabubuksan nyo yung email nyo kasi kailangan mo i-verify yung account mo. Okay? It is very important that you verify your account as a proof na ikaw nag-register at pangalawa, para ikaw ay makapag-apply. If you don't do this, if you don't verify, walang mangyayari sa account nyo. Okay? So sayang lang. So you have to verify to finish the first step. Okay? How do you verify? Just open your email, look for the link, click mo yung verify, you're done with the first step. Okay? Tapos na yung first step. Ano yung first step? Register. Wala tong bayad. Let's go to the second step. Ang second step, ang pinaka-logical sa lahat. Kailangan kumpletong detalye nyo. So how do you do that? You go back again to your account by going to the website of jobs180.com. This time, hindi mo kailangan mag-register. Ang gagawin mo, mag-login. Pag login mo, lagay mo dito yung email nyo or resume link nyo, kayo lang may alam yan, at lalo na yung password nyo na kayo lang talaga may alam yan. So when you do that, you now go inside your account. Pag nasa loob na kayo ng account nyo, ano gagawin nyo? Mabilis na lang ito. Fill in the blanks. Okay? Now, I don't have to go through all the information here because definitely, alam mo naman pag sinabi ditong name, malamang pangalan nyo. Pag nakalagay dito address, malamang address nyo. Diba? So you put all the information ninyo dito. Okay? Lagay nyo. Then, what else do you put in here? Importante po, lagay dito lahat ng posibleng paraan na pwede ka makontak ng isang HR. Kagaya ng social media account nyo. Diba? Hindi lang email tsaka phone number. Bakit? Most of the time, ano nangyayari? Okay, let me tell you. Marami sa inyo nilalagay nyo phone number nyo. Pero pag tinatawagan kayo ng HR, hindi nyo sinasagot, lalo na pag hindi mo kilala. Hala, sino kaya ito? Hindi mo sasagutin. Diba? Kasi takot kayo, baka nagsascam or whoever yung tumatawag. So ano mangyayari sa mga HR? Mag-i-email kami ngayon sa inyo. But you don't open email more often than you open your social media account. So I recommend lahat ng posibleng paraan na pwede ka makontak na isang HR, ilagay mo dito. Kagaya ng mga Facebook nyo or Twitter nyo para mabilis ay makapag-PM. Private message, makapag-invite for the next step. Okay? What else do you put here? You also put here your work options, yung mga work experience nyo. Pagdating po sa work options, you can see on the screen, you have 4 options na pwede nyo pagpilian. Parang switch lang yan. Yes, no switch, on, off switch. So you can choose here, example, looking for OJT, lagay mo yes, if you're looking for OJT right now. And later on, pag hindi na, turn it off. Ilagay mo na no. Diba? So depende yan kung anong mas trip nyo or anong mas pasok dun sa hinahanap nyo right now. What the system will do is it will try to match you with companies who are also looking for the same profile with what you have. Yan yung kagandahan ng tool natin. Hindi mo kailangan mag-door-to-door para mag-submit ng resume link ninyo. Okay? What else do you put here? You put here your school under education. Even later on, okay, pagka-graduate nyo, you can also put here your schools. Yung mga nag-take pa kayo ng further studies, pwede mo rin ilagay dito. Okay, so walang limit sa space yan. Pagdating ko sa seminars attended, ganun din. Kahit gano'ng karami, pwede nyo ilagay dito. Kahit magkopyahan pa kayo. Just make sure lang alam mo yung seminar na yon. Kaya baka matanong ka sa interview. Pagdating po sa certification, ganun din. Put all the certification programs that you've had, you put it here. Okay? When it comes to the achievement, do not limit your achievement only inside the school. Hindi lahat na nakikinig ngayon ay Dean's Lister. Hindi kayo lahat dito ay honor student. Diba? Ayan. Hindi lang po ang achievement nakabase sa academic excellence. Some of you are student leaders. So if you're active sa school, you also hear ano yung mga kakabalahan nyo. And hindi lang sa loob ng school, if you're active in your barangay, halimbawa, isa kang tanod, ilagay mo dyan. Diba? Yan yung mga achievement ninyo. So you put it here. Bakit? Because what you're doing now is you're trying to market yourself more effectively to that prospective company. Okay? Now, when it comes to the skills and languages, ito yung common observation namin mga HR. Pagdating sa skills, nilalagay mo lang na skills yung mga umiikot lang sa course nyo. Hindi porkat communication arts ang course mo, com arts lang ang skills na alam mo. Hindi porkat engineering ang course mo, ang alam mo lang na skill ay pang engineering. Hindi porkat tourism or HRM ang course mo, ang alam mo lang na skill ay pang tourism at pang HRM. Maybe some of you are into multimedia, into photography, into videography, into something else, arts, crafts, whatever. Lahat ng yan, skills nyo yan. Remember, what you're doing here is you're marketing yourself more effectively. Kaya kung ako sa inyo, ilagay mo dito lahat ng skills na alam ninyo. Pagdating po sa languages, ganun din. Huwag mong ilimit yan sa dalawang lengguwahe lang. Because I'm sure alam nyo na yung dalawa. Kung dalawa lang talaga alam nyo, din dalawa lang. Ano tong dalawang to? English and Tagalog or Filipino. Okay? Now, if you know other local dialect, Bisaya, Kapampangan, Sabacano, Ilonggo, you can also put it here. If you know foreign languages, German, French, Chinese, Japanese, diba, Korean, pwede mo ilagay dyan. Okay? Walang limit sa space yan. When it comes to the references, sigurado ko yung mga references nyo, kilala nyo. Ang malaking tanong dito kayo ba'y kilala nila? Sana oo, di ba? Kasi madalas pag tumatawag kami sa mga references nyo, hindi kayo maalala. So please tell them, ginawa nyo silang reference para at least they know what to tell about you. Okay? Now at this point, to make your life easier, kung sakali lang nakagawa ka na ng resume nyo in your Word file or maybe in your doc file, depende kung anong file nyo, PDF file, whatever file you have. Kung nakagawa ka na ng resume nyo, simple na lang. Just copy all the information inside dito. No, ilagay mo sa loob ng Resumelink. Just transfer them here inside the Resumelink para maging secured yung data nyo. Okay? Kung bakit secured, I'll tell you as we go along. Okay? So yung mga sinabi ko, I think alam nyo na yan. Alam nyo na yan. Okay? Itong mga susunod kong papakita, ito yung mga amazing na portion. Let me start with the portfolio section. Ano yung portfolio section? This is the part where you now upload evidence of your skills. Example, ano ebidensya na graduate na kayo later on? Diploma, di ba? Transcript. Ano pa? Toga, hindi ebidensya yung toga. Okay? Kung ano man meron nyo, 'di ba? Certificate, diploma, 'yan, ebidensya 'yan, okay? Kung transcript of records is evidence na graduate na kayo. Ano ebidensya na wala kayong criminal record? NBA clearance, police clearance, 'di ba? Ano ebidensya na pwede ka pumunta sa ibang bansa? Passport, visa, lahat ng mga sinasabi mong mga skills mo or yung mga what you're claiming that you know, you can now support them here sa portfolio section by showing those documents. Diba? Anong ebidensya na ikaw ay healthy? Meron kang medical clearance. Anong ebidensya na pwede kang mag-drive ng sasakyan? Meron kang driver's license. Diba? So gets nyo na yung sinasabi ko. Ang point ko lang is you can now put the things here to support yung claim nyo of your skills. Now, you're starting to think, Sir, kung pare-pareho naman kaming graduate sa school namin, pare-pareho kami magkakaklase, same yung course namin, same yung school, same yung teachers, same yung curriculum, pare-pareho lang naman kami lahat, walang experience sa trabaho, how will we stand out? Ayan, di ba? Okay, ito ngayon yung isang magandang recommendation ko sa inyo on how you now stand out. You get your smartphones. Kunin mo yung mga smartphones nyo. Kung wala, manghiram sa kaibigan. Okay, hiram mo sa kaibigan mo. I-record mo yung selfie video mo. You say something interesting about yourself. Record it in about 30 seconds to 1 minute lang. Huwag na masyadong mahaba. Ano gagawin mo? Pretend that you are being interviewed by the HR. So you answer basic questions like, tell me something about yourself. O, di ba? Ano yung mga gasgas sa tanong natin? Why should we hire you? O, di ba? Just imagine na tinanong ka ng HR at sasagutin mo na lang siya. Ang maganda lang ngayon, recorded mo. So kung di mo type yung sagot, edi-delete mo. Pag type mo, you save it. Then you upload it sa YouTube or sa Vimeo. Maraming mga video channel na libre, mga video converter sa online. Hanapin mo lang. And when you're done, you put that video link doon sa portfolio section nyo. O, di ba? This time, it will definitely make you stand out because depende na to sa discarte mo on how you're going to present yourself. Okay? So I leave it up to you on how you do that. Now, another thing for you to do, na sure akong hindi to makokopya ng classmate mo, ay yung picture mo. Diba? So you put your profile picture here. Now, when it comes to the picture, hindi kailangan sobrang formal na formal. Hindi kailangan pumunta sa studio. Huwag na kayo gumastos. Ang importante dito, tumingin kayo sa camera. Plain background. Okay? Plain background, tumingin kayo sa camera. Wear something, of course. Wear something decent. Okay? Do not upload profile pictures that look like the right side of your screen. Yung mga sample na yan, hindi po maganda example yan. Okay? So, huwag kayong maglagay ng mga kasi mga sample ng profile picture. Now, another good thing pa that will make you stand out using the Resumelink is your cover photo. Yes! A picture paints 1,000 words. Yan ang kasabihan na very, very applicable dito. A lot of you who are listening today, hindi kayo gifted with writing skills. Hirap kayo i-express ang inyong feelings at inyong thoughts into words. Hindi mo ma-type, hindi mo ma-sulat. Tama? Hirap tayo eh. Bakit? Hindi natural sa atin yan. Pero pagdating sa picture, kaya mo i-express yung inyong personality. Look at the examples I'm showing you. Look at the one on the left. Ano siya? Isa siyang ophthalmologist or optometrist. Sabi naman ng iba, eye expert. Di ba? Yung sa kanan, ano siya? Sabi ng iba, sir, parang IT. Sir, techie siguro kasi maraming gadget, pati stapler, gadget niya. Di ba? O sabi ng iba naman, sir, parang makalat. O depende na kung how you are going to interpret it. But now, the way I see it, itong taong to, multitasker. Okay? Another good example I'm showing you is this one. Someone from psychology, someone from neurologist, or maybe someone who knows left and right. Ganun lang kasimple. No? So depende yan how you're going to express yourself. Okay? Another good example pa, itong person na to, ang gusto niya sabihin, there's no shortcut to success. You will be able to reach your goal by taking one step at a time. O, di ba? So I'm showing you good examples. Hindi yan member na akit bahay gang. Hindi rin po yan social climber, in case that's what you're thinking. So kung nagpakita ko ng magaganda example, I will also show you yung mga hindi magandang example para wag niyong gagayahin. Huwag kayong magpapaka-misteryoso. Okay? Make sure you put your picture there. Okay? Kasi maraming pangalan ngayon interchangeable. Ako mismo, guilty ako dyan. My name is Kim. A lot of people think babae ako. Ako rin mismo, napagkakamala ko yung mga aplikante, pinakita ko, Chris, George, Alex, Sam. O, diba? Minsan isipin ko, Joey, lalaki. Yung pala, babae. Diba? So you better put your picture there para at least alam ng HR who to expect. Okay? Now, when you make your resume link, dapat may laman talaga yan. Kasi kung walang laman yan, ganyan itsura niyan. Blanco. And how do you expect companies will look, or HR from companies will look at your profile if you submit to them resume links that look like this? It's like submitting a piece of a paper or no laman except pangalan mo. And that's the same as this one. So hindi yan papansinin ng mga HR for sure. Okay? Sayang lang oras nyo tsaka oras ng HR. Kailangan attractive. Okay? When I say attractive or catchy, do not overdo it naman. Now, this is just in my opinion. In my opinion, I think this one is not a good example. Kasi ang dating niya parang tamad, parang happy-go-lucky, parang chill-chill lang, no? Parang gano'n na dating. So, I leave it up to you on how you be, expressing yourself na dito. Okay? So, sa mga personality nyo. Alam niyo na anong dapat nyo gawin at hindi nyo dapat gawin. So, showing a very good example is si iExpert. Tignan mo, lahat ng detalye niya, kompleto. Everything. From top to bottom, kompleto lahat ng details, including yung kanyang mga portfolio section na nagpapatunay na siya ay isang licensed ophthalmologist. Pinakita niya lahat ng mga posibleng hingiin pa sa kanya ng mga HR. So bakit ko sinabi sa inyo napapabilis yung buhay dito? Hindi lang buhay nyo. Pati buhay din ng HR napapabilis. Because once you submit all this information to that company, when the HR opens your resume link and sees everything about you, dalawa lang ang pwedeng mangyari niyan. One is, nahuli mo attention, gusto kanya ngayon kausapin or schedule for the next step, like interview or possibly job offer, or hindi ka nag-fit. Yun yung second. Di ba? Para at least, ang maganda rito, hindi na pabalik-balik, hindi na siya tatawag para sabihin, hello ma'am, meron ka bang evidence na graduate ka na talaga sa school na yan? Can you send me your transcript? Diba? Can you send me yung mga evidence or yung mga sample skills or sample work mo kasi you are in IT or in graphic design, diba? Gets mo ibig ko sabihin, wag nang pabalik-balik, sayang yung oras. Okay? Time is of the essence, lalo na ngayon. So you put everything there, at least pa nakita ng HR, diretso na kagad sa pagprocess sa inyo. Okay? A lot of you are now thinking, sir, pag gumawa ako ng resume link at nilagay ko lahat ng information ko dyan, baka naman yung mga data ko nakakalat na sa buong mundo. Baka naman yung mga information ko nakalantad na sa buong internet. The answer is, no. Kaya nga siya tinawag na the most secured resume. Okay? Bakit siya tinawag na most secured resume? Because you have the ultimate control over your privacy settings. Follow the screen. Inside your dashboard, when you log in, you can go to your settings. Sa settings mo, to be specific, puntahan mo yung privacy settings. In your privacy settings, you choose the information that you want to show in public. Halimbawa lang you do not want to show your birthday. What do you do? Turn it off. Ayaw mo pakita yung address mo. What do you do? Turn it off. Ayaw mo pakita ang inyong references. What do you do? Turn it off. So lahat na naka-off, hindi lalabas sa public. At sino may control niyan? Kayo lang. O, di ba? Ang maganda pa rito, real-time update yan. Halimbawa, today, you decide not to show your birthday, your address, and references. And then 5 minutes later, you decide, sige, pakita ko na nga birthday ko. Turn it on. Real time. 5 minutes later, the moment you save your settings, lahat na binigyan mo ng resume link, updated na rin sila, real time. As in real time. Di ba? Ayos, di ba? Sige, tuloy natin. tuloy pa natin to. So, reminders ko na lang sa mga late na dumating or kakakinig lang, when you make your resume link, make sure that your profile is interesting and attractive. Okay? Wag OA. Iba yung over naman yun, no? Wag naman ganun. So, make sure it's attractive, it's catchy. Complete all the information, especially your contact details. Kasi sayang naman lahat ng ginawa mo, nahuli mo attention, hindi ka makontak ng HR. So, better make sure nandyan yung mga contact details yun na updated. Okay? So, yan. So, tapos na tayo sa 2 steps. Last step na lang. Ano yung first step? Recap lang. First step is register. Wala tong bayad. Libre po yan. Second step is for you to complete the information. Yan ang pinaka-logical. And the last step now is for you to submit. So, you're now thinking, okay to paano ko gagamitin ngayon yung resume link? Bigyan kita ng iba-ibang paraan. Okay, lahat ito practical application para makarelate kayo. Unang option, pumunta ka sa website ng jobs180.com. That's www.jobs180.com, and that's where you now start to look for companies. Type the companies that you're looking for. Pag may lumabas, edi good. Pag walang lumabas, edi wala. Okay, wag din pilitin. Okay? Now, you can also see there a lot of companies, a lot of company logos that you can shop around, you can choose, learn about the company, and if you want to be part of the company, I recommend you submit your resume link kahit na hindi ka pa qualified. Let me repeat what I just said. If you want to be part of an organization, if you want to be part of that company, even if you are not yet qualified, I recommend you give your resume link to that company. Bakit? Imagine, kung ngayong hapon, ngayong araw, nagsubmit ka ng resume link sa isang kumpanya na naghahanap ng 3 years experience na aplikante. Wala ka pang 3 years experience. Okay lang. Because nabigay mo na yung resume link mo sa kanya, pagdating ng 2024, siguro naman by that time, meron ka ng 3 years experience, di ba? Kasi nag-work ka na ngayon by 2021. By 2024, may 3 years experience ka na, pwede ka na ma-qualify dun sa position in-applyan mo. And you never know. That company might just contact you later on, provided that your details are still updated. So you have to update those information real time. Ayos ba? Ayos, di ba? Wala nang pabalik-balik. Hindi mo na kailangan magbalik-balik dun sa kumpanya para sabihin, nag-apply po ko sa inyo last year. Ako po yung OJT nyo 3 months ago. Wala lang ganun. Okay? Another practical application. When you submit your resumes through email, how do you do that? Madalas, ito ginagawa natin. Mag-email tayo, sasabihin natin, Dear HR Manager, I would like to apply for the following position, and this is my resume. Ano gagawin nyo? I-attach mo yung Word file mo or PDF file mo. Tama? If that is how you're doing it, wag mo nang gawin yon. Wag ka na mag-attach ng anything sa email. Pampabagal lang yan, tsaka makaluma na yung style na yan. Bakit ko sinabi yon? Kasi hindi mo na kailangan talaga mag-attach ng anything. Ang gagawin mo, i-type mo na lang doon sa email mo yung resume link mo. Example, Dear HR Manager, I would like to apply for the following position. And this is my resume. In this example, Antonio Juan de la Cruz, 01.jobs180.com. That's it. Submit. I look forward to your information soon. Thank you. Send. Every time meron kang babaguhin sa details mo, hindi mo na kailangan padalhan yung HR. Kasi kung ginagamit mo mga attachment, ang kulit niyan ang kulit, saka nakapagod. Ano gagawin mo pag nagbago ka ng phone number? Dear HR Manager, this is now my updated resume. Mamaya-maya, 2 weeks later, nagpalit ka ng phone number. Ano gagawin mo? Dear HR Manager, this is now my updated, most recent resume. O, di ba? Every time meron kang babaguhin, padala ka na padala doon sa HR. Nakakapagod yan, hindi lang sa part nyo, kundi sa part din namin sa mga HR to keep track which one yung pinaka-updated na details. So this time, wala na kailangan. Palit-palit na lang kayo ng details nyo, update na lang sa loob ng resume link. Ayos ba? Ayos pa. Okay, tuloy pa natin to. Okay? If you want to print your resume, this is now the good news. You can now print your resume link. No matter how much information you have, the system will try to compress everything into one page. So kung gusto mo talaga mag-print ng papel at mag-submit sa mga kumpanya, walang kaso. Pumunta ka lang sa dashboard mo, hanapin mo yung print na option at mamili ka kung 1 column or 2 column version ang gusto mo i-print. What the system will do is it will try to compress everything into one page para tipid na. O, di ba? Now, usapang tipid. Ito mas tipid pa. Gusto mo mag-print ng resume pero gusto mo magtipid. Itong gawin mo. Gumawa ka ng resume link card. Ano tong resume link card? Sa isang pirasong long bond or short bond paper, mag-design ka ng maraming resume link card. No, maliliit lang, parang business card ang dating. In one piece of paper, I think you can make 10, 20 sets of cards. Depende sa size ng papel mo. At ang importante na ilagay mo dyan sa resume link card mo ay syempre ang inyong resume link. Diba? So, hindi mo na kailangan ilagay lahat ng details mo sa resume sa loob ng maliit na papel. Lagay mo lang resume link mo. And that is what you now give to the companies when you start applying. Look at the picture I'm showing you. Di ba? Tipid. Hindi lang tipid. Secured pa. Tingnan nyo. If you submit yung big paper resume nyo, long bond paper, sinubmit mo sa isang kumpanya, nag-apply ka. For some reason, nilipad ng hangin. Yung nakapulot ng papel na yan, alam na buong detalye mo. Because everything is in that one-page printout. Now, if you lose that small piece of paper, don't worry. Meron kang peace of mind. Bakit? Yung mga kapulot niyan, limited sa privacy settings mo because you have the ultimate control over your privacy settings kahit na i-type niya yan sa browser. Okay? So, ang recommend ko rin sa mga nakikinig, use the gadget. Take advantage of the technology. Use your gadget, your laptop, your cell phone, your tablet, kung ano man. Okay? Para ngayon kasi, with this day and age, technology na ang gamitin natin. Kung mano-mano pa rin kayo, wala kayong gadget, okay lang. Huwag kayong malungkot. You can still submit to the companies by just simply writing the resume link on a piece of paper. As simple as that. Okay? So, again, sa mga nagtatanong, ano yung mga guidelines ko para makagawa ako ng job-winning resume? Ito yung guideline ko. Ito yung checklist ko. Are you using the right tool? That's the ultimate question. There are so many tools right now, but these are the things that you should consider when you make your resume. And that is the resume link. It already addresses the following. Number 1, security ng information mo. I hope by this time, you have peace of mind. Ito na ang pinaka-secured na information because you have the ultimate control over your privacy setting. Pangalawa, the speed of hire becomes faster. It becomes more efficient because whatever you need, whatever the HR needs, you can already put it inside the resume link. Another thing is that it's flexible. If you want to print, just in case lang gusto mo talaga mag-print ng resume nyo, you have the option to print it. And you don't have to worry about saan ko sinave yung file na yan, saan ko tinago, wala nang ganun. Just log into your account and print. Mamili ka lang kung 1 column or 2 column version. At higit sa lahat, wala po itong bayad. Tipid po ito. Walang bayad. Okay? Ang kailangan mo lang, of course, internet. Sa mga nag-iisip sa inyo, sir, kailangan ko ng pan-data, pwede ka naman makakonect sa internet na walang data eh. Punta ka sa libreng wifi. Di ba? Baka yung kapitbahay nyo may libreng wifi, o makagamit ka muna. Later on, pag may trabaho ka na, may sweldo na, bayaran mo yung wifi niya. O di ba? Bawi-bawi lang yan. No? Give and take. And there are a lot more benefits to just what I've mentioned. Marami pang iba. You can share your resume link to whatever platform you want to share it to. Gusto mo i-text? Gusto mo siya i-private message? Gusto mo i-send via Viber? Kayo bahala. Pwede mo i-share. Basta kayo may control. Ganun lang kasimple. No? Kung hindi mo ito binigay sa kahit kanino, hindi malalaman to nung taong yon. And you don't have to save it to whatever USBs or hard drive. No need na. Wala rin tong mga tipong version na kailangan pa mag-compatible. Walang ganun. Lahat ito compatible. Pwede lahat. Okay? So, shout out na lang ako. Shout out to all our school partners. By the grace of God, right now, we have about 400 plus colleges and university partners nationwide, including your alma mater. So, thank you. We're very thankful for this opportunity that we're able to do this kahit tayo nasa loob ng bahay, kahit kayo ay nasa loob ng bahay. So, hindi tayo physically nagpe-present, pero nakakatulong pa rin tayo. Especially if you have friends or relatives whom you think would need this tool, please share this to them. Okay? Sa mga nagtatanong naman ng mga frequently asked questions, sasagutin ko na. Ito kasi yung mga common questions na kadalasan tinatanong sa akin. Ang tanong, can I give my resume link to companies who do not know about jobs180.com? The answer is absolutely yes. It depends kung sino ang bibigyan mo. Ikaw may ultimate control niyan. Okay? Pangalawang question, is this the same as other job platform like LinkedIn, JobStreet, iba pang mga job site? The answer is no. Meron tong dalawang major difference. Yes. Lalo na pagdating sa security. Okay. Of course, explain lang ako Okay. With respect to the other sites that I've mentioned, let me just use JobStreet as an example para lang mas makarelate, no? You can only use JobStreet resume if you're applying to companies who are also using JobStreet. If you're applying to a company who is not using JobStreet, you cannot use your JobStreet resume anymore. With your resume link, you can use this to any type of company, any platform, wherever they are. Kahit sa loob ng Pilipinas or sa labas ng Pilipinas, pwede mong applyan. Kahit hindi niya alam ang Jobs 180, basta alam niya ang resume link mo, pwede niya mabuksan ang profile at makita according to your settings. That's the first difference. Pangalawang difference, kung nabigay mo na, kung na-submit mo na ang JobStreet resume mo sa isang company, wala ka nang pwedeng baguhin. Lahat ng data mo nandun na yan sa HR. Yes. Hindi na magbabago yan real time. With your resume link, na-submit mo today, mali pala number mo, na-submit mo today, mali pala yung spelling mo, you can always edit it, enter, save it, Real-time update. Lahat ng bigyan mo ng Resumelink updated real-time. Ayos? Okay, tuloy tayo sa number 3 question. Number 3 question is the easiest question. Ang tanong dito is, can I keep my information secured? I hope by this time, na-convince ko na kayo na ito na ang pinaka-secured na platform. Okay? That's the reason why I'm sharing this to you. Okay? Number 4, I think this is the most important question. How often should you update your Resumelink? Ang sagot dito, hindi araw-araw, hindi linggo-linggo, hindi buwan-buwan, hindi taon-taon. Ang sagot dito ay every time. Every time na meron kayong babaguhin, lalo na ang contact details nyo. Yan ang importante. You have to update your contact details every time na meron kayong papalitan doon. Kasi yan yung paraan para makontak kayo ng mga companies. And the last question is just a trivia. Why is this called jobs180.com? This is called jobs180.com because we want to turn your life around. Yan, 'di ba? 180 degrees. Hindi siya 360. Kasi kung 360, bumalik ka lang kung saan ka galing. Edi balik-balik ka lang, balik-balik ka lang, balik-balik ka lang. Di wala nangyari, 'di ba? So you have to do it 180 degrees. It's a straight line towards your career goal. Okay? Just in case may tanong pa kayo, nahiya magtanong, pumunta lang kayo sa website namin, sa jobs180.com or email me here sa info@jobs180.com. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, follow us on Instagram para makakuha kayo ng mga latest trends in recruitment. Okay? Again, my name is Kim Chua. Don't forget yung wa. Okay? Baka Kim Chu lang maalala nyo. Na nagsasabing, be safe at isang magandang araw po sa inyong lahat. Thank you.
Thank you for that, Sir Kim. So, joining us in this part of our event, we have Angie and Nosh from USJR to join us for Q&A. Ayan. Hello, guys. Hello. Good afternoon. Ayan. So, I asked them to prepare a couple of questions for you, sir. Sige guys. You can unmute your mic and you can ask your questions to Sir Kim.
Maayong buntag. I hope tama na sabi ko. Kahit hapon na. Pwede pa.
Tama
Okay.
po.
Okay.
So our first question po is, you mentioned earlier that in making our resume link, we have to stand out. Then my question is, if someone has little credentials, what tips can you give in order for them to stand out in their resume link?
Yes. I perfectly understand where you're coming from kasi ang tanong na yan yung tanong ng karamihan ng mga fresh grad na wala na mailagay sa resume link nila. Tipong kapang-kapa na, nilog na nila yung utak nila, wala pa maisulat, di ba? So, hindi nyo na rin makopya sa classmate mo kasi lahat kinopya mo na, picture na lang hindi mo makopya di ba? Yan na lang yung concern. So, biro lang. So, ano ngayon gagawin mo for you to stand out? One of the things that I highly recommend is you create your selfie video. That's one of the things that I highly recommend. Kasi sa panahon ngayon, with the generation that I'm talking to, kayo, mga generation nyo, hindi ko na kailangan turuan paano gumawa ng selfie video. Diba? Marunong naman kayo tumiktok Diba? So alam nyo na paano nyo gagawin yung selfie video nyo. Pero, ang kailangan nila i-highlight ngayon, hindi yung pagsasayaw lang at pagkakanta or pagmimik, diba? Ng mga dialogue. At this time, what you will try to do in your selfie video is to pretend that you're being interviewed by the HR. And you can describe yourself, showcase your skills. Hindi lang siya sa communication skills, but you can also showcase hard skills. Let me give some examples. May mga napanood akong mga video before, mga selfie video. Maiksi lang to, mga 1 minute or less than 1 minute. They were able to highlight skills like how to properly handle a welding machine. Ayan, how to use a soldering iron. How to fold table napkins. Ayan, sa mga gumagraduate dyan sa HRM or tourism. Diba? So, very simple things that talks about your skills, you can already highlight it by showing those selfie video. And then I recommend, huwag kayo gumawa ng napakahabang video kasi sometimes yung mga aplikante gusto nila ikwento yung marami nilang gustong i-share, diba? So don't make a 10-minute one video with a 10-minute running time. Instead, I recommend you make multiple videos na lang. Maybe you can make tigo 1 minute lang na video, tapos 10 yung videos nyo. Ayun, mas maganda pa yun kasi mas nakaka-catch ng attention ng mga HR. So that's one of the things that I highly recommend doon sa ating paggawa ng for us to stand out. No? Another thing that I also would like to highlight dito sa resume link is where you can also attach yung mga portfolio nyo. Hindi lang yung video, no? Hindi lang puro mga selfie video. You can also highlight there yung mga ibang achievement nyo. Example, if you've been very active, and I've noticed this, most of the students nowadays, when they go into a particular event or when they run a certain activity, hindi naman kakain pa lang nga pumipicture na, 'di ba? So what more pa yung activity? So marami sa inyo dito puro picture eh. Sometimes you always document yung mga ginagawa ninyo here and there, especially if these are all related to you. So yan yung recommend ko. Put those pictures there, highlight yung mga skills na meron ninyo, and you'll never go wrong. No? Basta lang wag kayo magfa-falsify ng information. Wag mag-iimbento ng something na hindi naman talaga totoo. Kasi pag yan ay nalaman ng mga companies, pwede kayo malagot to the extent pa na baka magkaroon kayo ng criminal case, no, dun sa mga company. So you don't want to go to that direction. Okay? So I hope na-answer kita tanong nyo, Sir Nosh. Yan.
Ayan. Another
Ah.
question. I think we have another one. How about you, Angie?
When in terms of security services, you mentioned earlier that it is one of the 180's focus. We wanted an assurance lang dyan, sir, ba? Especially here in Cebu, since our information is out in the public and we can give it to anyone we want, anyone we want. How is it? What are the specific actions you've security actions that you have given to the jobs180.com in order for our information to be fully secured. So
Okay.
that
Sige. Thank you, Miss Angie. I hope medyo marami yung tanong dikit-dikit pero it's all about security. So what I'll focus on is to answer how will you be able to secure your information using this platform. Tama? Yun yung tanong, no? Okay, I just want to make sure lang. So number one, if you notice, the security settings will be controlled by the user, meaning kayo, no, as a job seeker, as a user, when you create your resume link, you can go to your private settings under the security settings portion. You can choose which information you want to show or hide in public. Yan yung unang-unang ginawa natin, no? So we hindi siya naka-realize kay Jobs on 80 kung ano information ang gusto mo ipakita or itago sa mga potential jobs, HR or companies that you're applying to. It depends now on you, meaning you as a job seeker or you as an account owner. Ikaw mamili, 'di ba? If you want to show your address, then show it. If you don't want to show it naman 2 minutes later, then hide it. So, yung portion na yon, you can control your privacy settings real time. Yan yung isang aspect. Now, the other item is that hindi siya searchable. If you try going to jobs180.com, meron doon search bar sa loob ng jobs180.com na website. The only things you can search for using that search bar are the following: company name, position title, tsaka location. So halimbawa lang, if I use Ma'am Angie as an example, if you go to jobs180.com, may search bar doon, type mo Angie. Walang lalabas. Unless merong company name, position title, or location na may word na Angie. And that's the only time may lalabas, no? I mean, may lalabas na something, pero I'm sure hindi yun resume link nyo. So ang next question is, how will the companies know kung ano yung information ni Ms. Angie or ni Sir Nosh in that example? Then that's where the design of this platform comes in. If you notice, you as a job seeker should be the one to be in control. You're the one in control kung sino bibigyan mo ng inyong information. So if the company you're applying to does not know your resume link, then I would say that person wouldn't know about your information as well. Unless lahat ng possible combination, trinay niya. Diba? And I don't think HR people will do that as well. I'm speaking as an HR, diba? Sa dami ng ginagawa ng mga HR, why will they try to do all the possible combination of one applicant? Kung yung applicant yun, ayaw naman mag-apply sa kanya, hindi rin niya pipilitin yan. Diba? So, yung mas maganda Kung sino gusto mo applyan, then you be the one to give it freely to the companies or to the HR that you want to apply to. So that's how we design it, no? Yung resume link. I hope I was able to address yung question niyo. Tama?
Alright.
yes, sir.
Tama naman, sir. Ayan. So, sir, the USJR Placement Office prepared the certificate. So, I'll ask Noosh and Angie to present the certificate to Sir Kim. There you go.
Hello, sir. To give recognition to the efforts of our speaker, we'll be giving him a certificate of appreciation. The certificate of appreciation is given to Mr. Kim Chua
for sharing his time and expertise as a resource speaker on the topic job application using the resume link during the job hunting webinar entitled Marketing Me Live in collaboration with jobs180.com held on November 25, 2022 through Facebook and YouTube live stream.
Given this 25th day of November 2022 at Cebu City, Philippines, signed by Placement Officer, Peso Manager Mrs. Elsa W. Angus, RPM,
And our SDPC Director, Dr. Nelva Y. Iglesia, RGC.
and our VP Academics and Research, Reverend Father Jose Alden B. Alipin, OAR. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, thank you. So, mga taga Cebu, pupunta ako dyan next week. I'll say hi to Miss Elsa. And maybe I can catch you there as well, Miss Angie and Sir Nosh. Okay? See you and keep in touch. Stay safe, everyone. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Sir Kim, and thank you to my co-MC. So they do the Q&A again after the second speaker. And so let me just introduce the second speaker. So for the topic, where was I? The topic is answering interview questions to be presented by Miss Aimeh Lazaro, campus recruitment leader over at Oracle. Miss Aimeh is a campus recruiter with almost 10 years of experience in hiring for business process outsourcing, information technology, accounting and finance, and shared services industry. So, Miss Aimeh, if you're ready, can you please join us? Hi, ma'am.
Hey. Hi, can
Afternoon.
you hear me?
Yes, loud and
All
clear.
right.
Can we try sharing your deck?
Yes.
There you go. Ayan, ma'am. So, ma'am, you have 20 minutes to present, and then Angie and Noosh will come in for Q&A right after. So, Miss Aimeh, I give you the floor.
All right. Thank you so much. So thank you for that warm introduction. So as mentioned by Sherry, I'm here today to talk about job interviews, answering job interviews, as you will soon be fresh graduates and will be part of the Philippines workforce. So before anything else, and also to break the tension, so let's have a quick icebreaker by sending a reaction based on what you feel about today's topic. So I know some of you are watching, majority I think is watching from Facebook. The rest are in YouTube. So please use your reaction button. I think you're already familiar with this. Thumbs up if you feel indifferent. Like, kailangan pa ba to? Is this a must for me? A laughing emoji if you feel that this is something that's nakakakaba or scary and you really have no idea or haven't really thought about it. And a heart emoji if you're genuinely interested and you feel that this would help you in your future career hunting. So I have another device here with me and I could see your reaction. So that's good. Keep it coming. Let's see what's your stat. And yeah. So now let's dive into the topic proper. So today, I will not hand you a script, okay, if you're expecting that for potential answers to interview questions. I believe you could actually easily search a lot of that in Google. And let's be honest, if I would give you that, you would just memorize it every interviews and it would not sound unique or something that's you, okay? Instead, today I will give you guidelines on how you can prepare, how you can identify your strengths and your skills, and how you can make your answers unique, just like who you are. Okay, so interviews is an important part of showing that you are a qualified candidate. By showing an employer that you are both competent and confident, they may be more likely to offer you the job or position. So we have three parts for today. So that's before the interview, what you need to prepare during the interview on how to answer the interviews itself or the questions, and after the interviews. Okay? So let's start. Before the interview, what do you need to prepare? Kailangan ba mag-prepare? Yes, of course. Before the interviews, number one that I always teach my students over the course of my 10 years in the industry is that you identify where you want to be or your career goals. Is this relevant? Yes. Make sure that the position you're actually applying for is something that you see for yourself. Okay? You see yourself doing in at least the next 1 year or at least next 3 years. Okay? Otherwise, you're just wasting your time. If you don't know what your goals or where you want to be, it will not be fit to the qualification or skills that companies might be looking for. Next, this one is very important. Reflect on your strengths and skills. It is a must that before you apply for a role or before you go to interviews, you know what your capabilities are, your strengths and your skills. I think Sir Kim had mentioned earlier about your communication skills, your social skills, your presentation skills, and other technical skills that might be different or might be unique for your industry. So ask yourself, am I applying for a position that actually fits my skills? So what have I learned from the university that I could use for this job? And what am I actually really good at? Okay? So reflect on yourself, reflect on those things so that because knowing yourself well means being able to better position yourself to sell your qualifications. And it would also serve as your Bible or as your guide. Because no matter how hard the questions might seem, if you are confident in your skills and you know what you're really good at, every questions would be just a breeze or easy. Okay? Next, research the company and the role. So it is crucial that you know the background of the company. So hindi pwede na mag-a-apply tayo without wala tayong bala or wala tayong background on what's going on, what is this company about, etc. By knowing what products and services the business sells, the market it trades in, and having idea of its overall strategy or where does the company want to go moving forward, you are already demonstrating that you are interested in the job and have the willingness to learn. So I think that's readily available nowadays. So make an effort to look through the company's website. It could be their own website, could be their pages in Facebook or in LinkedIn, in jobs180.com. There is a company page that you could look into. And yeah, seek out information about the company and even for recruiters. As a recruiter, we can actually see it and we appreciate it that you are researching and preparing for your interview. Okay? In the same way that you research about the company, should also know that the company might do the same as well. So ensure that your social media profiles have the appropriate privacy settings on them and make sure your job hunting profiles and jobs180.com are up to date and professional as well, as Kim had mentioned earlier. So, based on my experience, many candidates would send numerous applications, most of the time forgetting the role they're applying for or not fully understanding what it means. So, make sure you understand the role, the position, the expectations, and the responsibility it includes. Nowadays, recruiters can be very creative. So sometimes position titles might not what it seems, okay? Or sometimes they're making it more attractive by using titles that might seem higher in reality, but actually for entry levels only. So be wary of those. Review the position, review the company that you're applying for. Okay? Next, start being professional. So this is applicable not just for an on-site interview, which is now back, or virtual interviews. Okay, so start being professional by being on time. So it means that you respect other people's time as well. Ideally, whether it is on site or virtual, you should be in the venue 5 to 10 minutes prior to your schedule. So wag naman yung tipong 2 hours or 1 hour andun ka na and waiting, okay? It actually gives unnecessary pressure to interviewers, especially if it's a scheduled interview because they have to attend to you right away. But just enough, like 5 to 10 minutes. The extra minutes would actually help you relax a little, calm your nerves, and breathe. Okay, you might even be able to go to the washroom, refresh yourself, etc. So yeah, that's good. And of course, aside from being on time, another will be to dress and present yourself appropriately. So make sure that your attire is appropriate, okay, depending in the industry that you are applying for. So no plunging necklines, no sleeveless, and wear a light makeup. Okay, wear clean and good shoes And most importantly, kahit virtual pa, take a bath, take a shower. Okay? It adds up to the overall appearance. Okay? So for men, just a comment, please ensure that if you have facial hairs, they are properly trimmed and clean as well. So wala naman nag-judge na ngayon based on the appearance. Okay? If may bigote or may bird, but make sure it is clean and presentable. And lastly, this one is very important. Prior to any job interviews, practice. Okay? Like with anything, practice makes perfect. Take time to stand in front of a mirror and visualize yourself in the interview room. Okay? Practice elaborating on your skills, your qualities, and examples that you have listed in your resume. Okay? And always be ready to provide at least 3 or 4 different examples or situations that prove a particular skill set. Okay? So remember the times that you have demonstrated leadership skills. Okay? Remember the times that you have demonstrated attention to details. Okay? Sometimes when we talk about skills, uh, we're thinking of things that are, you know what, common, okay, or something that we usually see in resumes or interviews, etc. And we fail to realize that there are certain skills, common skills that you're already good at. Okay? So practice that one and practice it out loud. Practicing out loud means you could hear your voice, you could hear your intonation, you could hear your pronunciation or your enunciation. Okay? And it gives you that boost of confidence, especially when you know what you're talking about. Okay? So now you already have this. You know what to prepare, you feel that you are ready to face an interview, let's move on to during the interviews. So I only have 3 points in here. Okay. Number one is tell your story. Okay. Storytelling is where you actually sell your skills and qualifications. Storytelling in interviews brings your relevant experiences to life. Okay? Because when we receive your resume or your CV, it's just words. Okay? There's no tone on that, to be honest. But once you speak, the way you speak, it provides your experiences an avenue to become more animated, to become animatic. Okay? So share what you've learned from your past experiences, not just, during internship or even actually you can cite examples during a group presentation, a group project, etc. And convey something about you that you want the interviewer to appreciate and remember. Kumbaga, lalagyan natin ng flair. Okay? It doesn't have to sound boring at all. Okay? So map out your story about yourself. This is not about saying something that is not true. Okay? Or fictional. So hindi tayo gumagawa ng kwento. That's different. Okay? Storytelling is a way for you to actually organize your thoughts in a concise manner so that you can deliver it well. Okay? Remember our talking points earlier about knowing your strengths and your capabilities, right? So, for example, this is a common question, an introductory questions coming from recruiters. A recruiter might ask you, "Tell me something about yourself." That's the most common introductory question. Okay, introduce yourself, or can you walk me through your qualifications? You start off by providing a brief introduction of yourself, such as your name, the course that you graduated, and your experiences. So in your case, since you're going to be fresh graduates or internship, relevant school experiences, if you have worked on a project, theses, etc., if you have been a delegate, etc., or just your day-to-day learning in schools. Okay? And end it on why you think the role is for you or what is your vision in the future. Okay? So I've seen in the chat box, I think we have a lot of uh, viewers that are psychology graduates. So just like, for example, because I'm a psychology graduate, this is how I would introduce myself. So I'm Amy, no, because that's my maiden name. I'm a fresh graduate of psychology from Our Lady of Fatima Universities, and I had various internship experience in different settings. But what's most memorable would be my HR experience as an intern at the National Bureau of Investigation, wherein I facilitated intelligence and personality exams. And I have also the chance to interview candidates applying for various openings in the institution. It was something that I really enjoyed. That's why I am pursuing a recruitment associate role in your company. So, what do you think of my answer? It's short and concise and cover what needs to be said. I haven't said anything yet about further of my experiences, but it's a good introductory answer when people ask you about who you are. It's what commonly other people would say an elevator pitch. Okay? So prepare something similar to this one. Introduce yourself, a little bit of background of her experiences or what you're good at, plus your goals in the future. Okay? So during an interview, recruiters will often ask for examples of how you handled a situation in the past to see how you might act in a new role. Okay? So you can answer these questions by telling a story that effectively captures your qualifications and skills and what you can bring to the company. So planning, okay, you can write it down, and practicing your stories can help you feel confident about your interview. Okay? So next, now a good guide in effective storytelling is what we call the STAR approach. Okay? So the STAR approach would help you structure your responses for a situational questions in a concise manner. Okay? So S stands for situation. So give a short overview of the specific event or situation you are referencing. Okay? T stands for task. Okay? Outline what was needed to be achieved in the situation. What was the goal? Or what do you need? What need were you addressing? Okay? A stands for action. So describe the particular actions you took to complete the task required. So be sure to note the reasons for your actions, the challenges you face, and the specific skills you use to attain that results. Okay? And lastly, R stands for the result. So summarize, wrap up the things you have achieved, and briefly note any relevant key learnings. So for example, again, if it were me, for fresh graduates, common question would be can you share with me a situation in the past that was overwhelming or challenging for you? So majority of candidates they get caught off guard for this question because it's not something that you usually ask, or challenging things might be hard to identify when you are under pressure. Okay. But these questions ask for a specific experience. And it could be during your internship or your projects or even thesis. So this is how I would answer it. So one challenging experience I had while in the university was during my thesis. It was a group thesis, and unfortunately, my group mates were not as cooperative as I would hope for. So, in order for us to provide a quality output and pass the thesis defense, I took the initiative to lead the group, communicate well with each team member about what needed to be done, and encourage everyone that we can do it all together. So happily, we passed the thesis defense and have finally earned our bachelor's degree. Okay, so can you identify which one is the situation, the task, the action, and the results? It's clear, right? Because we were able to outline it in a way that is on a concise manner. I think everybody would be able to relate that once upon a time, once in our lives, we had uh challenging group mates, okay, or thesis mates, okay, and that's okay. That's part of life. But because of the challenging situation, you were able to show how you lead a group. Okay, you were able to show how you were able to provide a solution to a seemingly hard problem. Okay, so that's how the START approach will help you outline and answer effectively during an interview. Okay, next will be confident, show interest, enthusiasm, and passion. So recruiters, just like us, are trained to scrutinize not just your answers or your words, but also your motivations. We can hear it from your voice, your body language, and your overall impression. Okay? But remember, when we truly believe in ourselves, we shine with confidence. Diba? Sparkly shining. But yeah, that's right. This goes back to having the time to reflect on yourself, your goals, your strengths, and your capabilities. Okay? And lastly, we ask relevant questions relevant to the role. An interview is a two-way street. Okay, it's not meant to be a monologue. Okay, this is where you also check whether the company is the right fit for your goals, your moral principles, and the overall culture of the company. So welcome the interviewer's invitation to ask questions as an opportunity to show your interest and find out information that will help you make a good decision on pursuing to this company. Okay? So hindi porket in interview ha, you have no right to say no or to change your mind. No, it doesn't work that way. It's a two-way street. It's a communication with your interviewer. So sample questions you could ask like so far. You can ask your interviewer. This one is my favorite question. How was your experience in the organization? Okay. Interviewers in general, they're madaldal. So they would love to answer your questions back. Okay. You could also ask them, how would you describe the culture? How is the performance evaluation and the rewards process? And lastly, this is very important. What is the career path for this role? Okay. Now we're done with the interviews. You have prepared. What's next? So after the interviews, I only have two things. Number one would be ask feedback. Okay. This is very important. Nowadays, many candidates would often tell us, or you would often see it on Facebook, that they would say the recruiters did not get back to them. Okay? So ask how you perform after the interviews and what are the next steps if you are ever shortlisted. Okay? This way, your recruiter will be able to give you a timeline on when you should expect to know the results. Okay, so pwedeng sabihin, after this call, you will be able to hear from us, etc. Or in a week, you will be able to hear from us. So good recruiters would also provide you insights on what you did well and how you can improve in the next interviews. Okay, which will be useful for the next assessments. It's okay to ask how well have you performed during the interview. Okay, it is our job as a recruiter to ensure that you receive that feedback so you can be better on the next level of assessment. Okay? So next, follow up and say thanks. So what if I haven't heard from them? It's okay to ask for a follow up. Okay? You can usually expect to hear back from a recruiter within the first couple of days or weeks after your interview. But again, disclaimer, it all depends on the pool of candidates they have to get through as well. Follow up once. If you haven't heard from them, then it is safe to assume you were not shortlisted for the role. Okay? But no matter what the outcome, pass or fail, you should always express your thanks for the time spent reviewing your profile. Okay? So allow me to wrap up what we have discussed today for some parting thoughts. We have discussed a lot of tips and guides for you folks. Remember, interviews are done for both the candidate and the employer to see the compatibility of each other. Okay? It is not meant to be judged. It's not meant for us to judge you, but rather to assess your potentials and how it fits in the overall strategy of the organization. That is why it is okay if we don't get the position or the job during the first interview. It happens and it will continue to happen. But remember, for every no, or we will just call you for updates, it only means you have more time to practice, to work on your storytelling, reflect on your strengths, and be more ready for a career that awaits you. Okay? So, just like what Father Antonio have said earlier, my favorite quote from Confucius: choose a job you love and you will never have to work a day in your life. Sometimes the positions that we apply for is not just meant to be, but that doesn't mean that you won't be able to see or get your dream career in the future. Okay, so now let's make it a little more personal and look at how my company, Oracle Philippines, can support your career and development. So, our CEO, Safra, is the executive sponsor of our campus hiring. Campus meaning fresh graduate hiring or entry level hiring. I can assure you, if you join Oracle, you'll be joining a company that has made a strategic decision to invest in you. So we made a decision to organically develop talent, which is why graduate hiring is so important to us. Let me show you a video about Oracle and the benefits of joining us. I hope my
All around the
audio.
world, people's lives are better because of Oracle. With a presence in over 175 countries, we are one of the biggest technology companies on the planet. But we operate with the ingenuity of a startup. That's because at Oracle, innovation starts with inclusion. When everyone's voice is heard and valued, we are inspired to go beyond what's been done before, like the world's first autonomous database, the most exciting chapter in the cloud revolution to date. Our self-driving technology is empowering researchers to discover the secrets of our universe and helping the world's leading companies to reimagine what it means to innovate. We are a team of tech enthusiasts who love what we do, and it shows. Whether we're using AI to connect cancer patients to life-saving clinical trials, blockchain to make sure huge cargo ships don't get stranded at sea, or Oracle Cloud to save endangered species from extinction, we take pride in the knowledge that we are making the world a better place. Life at Oracle is designed to bring out the best in you. We don't think your life should be on hold from Monday to Friday. Here, flexible working gives you the freedom to do things your way. Join us and we will give you the support and the skills to write your own success story.
All right, so with Oracle, possibility starts here. And we are not only hiring for technology graduates, but we are also welcoming graduates of all courses to be part of our consulting teams. Scan the QR code that you can see on your screen, and you will be directed to our Jobs 180 page, or type in your browser jobs180.com/Oracle PH. So you will see all of our career opportunities for fresh graduates, not just for technology, but also for consulting. So whatever your course is or whatever your goals in the future, we're here to help. So with Oracle, build a career that changes everything and allow Oracle to create the future with you. So handing it back to you, Sherry.
All right. Thank you so much, Miss Lazaro, for that very insightful talk. Miss Shari transferred the right for us now. Our dear audience, as a reminder, as usual, the floor is now open to address all your queries for Miss Aimee, and just comment them down to our Facebook or YouTube live. Now, for you guys to have enough time to think of your questions, so the we will be the one to first give the questions to Miss Amy. So
Yeah.
the first question, Miss Amy, is what should be our focus before the interview? Should our answers be aligned to the business or company's objectives, mission, vision, or we can just honestly answer the questions?
Um, I think number one that you should do. prior interviews is to actually identify what's your goal and what's your strength. Because it's going to be hard to just answer questions right away when you don't even understand yourself. Okay. So I have seen a lot of courses joining us in in the live, and I think it varies, but most majority are in business. Okay. So in business you have different skills, you are open for different positions. So reflect on yourself, identify where you want to be, what skills you are good at. So if you're good with people, if you're good with numbers, if you're good with data, etc. And from there, look for a company or for a position that fits that. Okay. The research about the company, the position, it comes after when you already know what you want to do in your life and what position you want to do. Okay. So let's not mix that, but take it one step at a time. When you have a clear goal, when you have a clear outlook, it becomes easier. Okay. And practice. You can actually even practice with your friends, with your classmates, or even with your families on what you want to do. Okay.
Thank you,
I
Miss.
hope
Now,
I
in
was able to
connection, yes, Miss.
go
Now,
ahead.
in
Go ahead.
connection with that, Miss, you mentioned about highlighting the skills. And for example, Miss, should we run down all our strengths and skills, even though it has little to less significance to the company?
When you answer interview questions, it doesn't have to be like parang nag-enumerate kayo just to show that you have a lot of skills. Okay? That is where reading the job description helps. So look on your skills. List down your skills. That's a good advice. Lista mo lahat ng skills mo, qualifications mo. Compare it with the job description that you see from job portals. And from there, identify which skills I have would fit on the qualifications that they have. Okay? So if makita mo na merong same, like for example, they're looking for somebody who is a good speaker. Okay? Then that's one thing that you can highlight during the interview. The rest would come in as an add-on. Okay? So you right nowadays job descriptions are very descriptive already. It identifies all the qualifications. So that's going to be a good guide for you to highlight the skills that you have based on the job description. Okay? But yeah, I would second emotion what you said, that write down all your skills so that you're aware. Okay? Hindi mo malilimutan. Okay? So that's it.
All right, thank you so much, Miss. So a question from our Facebook Live. If you don't show up on an interview, do you get blacklisted?
It depends. Okay? There are some what do you call this? There are some job portals wherein there is an option to actually tag somebody as blacklisted. Okay. However, it really depends on the industry that you are part of. Me, as a campus recruiter, I've been here for 10 years. I don't blacklist fresh grads or entry level because I understand that majority of them are nervous, not yet prepared, or there's a lot of things going on. Okay, it is possible to be blacklisted, but it doesn't happen every day. Okay, you get blacklisted for certain instances. When I was in BPO, there are some candidates wherein medyo nag-display ng disruptive behavior during an event or in the recruitment hub. Those definitely they would get blacklisted. But if you just didn't show up, then no, not necessarily. But as an advice, fresh graduate or not, if we're not going to be able to make it on the interview, advise your recruiter. Okay? So just a simple text message letting us know I'm nervous. I don't want to go to the interview. If you want to be that honest, that's better for us than being ghosted. Okay? So kung nagrereklamo tayo na gino-ghost tayo ng recruiter, wag nating i-ghost si recruiter din. Okay? Meron din kaming emotions. So, just a reminder for everybody.
All right, thank you so much, Miss. So another question, Miss. You said in your discussion kanina that before interviews we should practice and practice so that we can do well in our during our interviews. If we are now in our interview and it just so happened that you panic, what can we do to pull ourselves together and compose again ourselves, Miss?
Okay. Number one, breathe. Okay. Breathe in and then breathe out. Smile. Okay. Those few seconds that you're smiling would allow you to actually reorganize your thoughts. Okay? Think about what's the next answer. And sometimes it also gives you it makes you more human to actually just acknowledge you're having a mental block. Tell your recruiter, hold on, can you give me 1 second just to gather my thoughts because right now I'm feeling nervous. Okay? Recruiters are human too. We've been there. We've been fresh graduate. We've been an applicant. Our job is tiring, but sometimes you just have to let us know where you are currently at. Okay? So, hindi naman lahat ng recruiter sisindakin ka. I believe the majority of us are still social people, kaya nga ito ang pinili namin trabaho. So, just let the recruiter know, give me a minute, I will just breathe, and I will just try to compose myself because I'm being overwhelmed right now. Okay? And then from there, organize your thoughts. Okay? Thank the interviewer. Thank you for giving me that time. I think this is how blah 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 I feel when I'm overwhelmed, but I don't think this would hinder me being successful for this position because I believe my qualities are this and that and so. Okay?
Just a follow-up question, Miss. Would it affect our results, Miss? Or yeah.
No, it should not be taken against you. Okay? But of course, there are some instances in recruitment. We pull the candidates, okay? We pull the candidates, meaning we review your performance against another candidate and we rank them accordingly. Okay. So let's say, for example, there's another candidate who pretty perform well, then of course it's a plus for them. Okay. But that doesn't lower your chances of not getting the interviews. The key in interviews is that you practice, you anticipate the questions, okay? But you don't memorize the answers that you see from Google or from anywhere else. You create your answers based on your strengths and based on your skills and based on your experiences. Okay? Because no matter how good my answers are right now, kunyari yan, ito, interview itong ginagawa natin, diba? If you would just copy it, it doesn't have the same effect because you haven't really experienced that. Okay?
All right, there we have it. Since we don't have any questions anymore, and our audience have digested all the topics that Miss Aimeh discussed to us, our question Q&A session for topic 2 has now ended. Now, to give recognition to the efforts of the speaker, this certificate of appreciation is given to Miss Aimee Lazaro for sharing her time and expertise as a resource speaker on the topic answering interview questions during the job hunting webinar entitled Marketing New Life in collaboration with Jobs180.com, held on November 25, 2022 through Facebook and YouTube live stream. Given this day, 25th on November 2022 at Cebu City, Philippines. Signed by Placement Officer and Peso Manager Mrs. Elsa W. Angos RPM and our SDPC Director Dr. Nelva Y. Iglesia RGC and our VP for Academics and Research Reverend Father Jose Alden B. Alipin OAR. Once
Thank you
again,
so much.
yes, sir.
Thank you.
Oh, 'di ba? Ang galing ng co-host ko. Ayan. Thank you, guys. We'll see you again for the next Q&A, okay? All right. So here to present our next speaker, we have Sir Darrell J. Maon, Strategic Partnerships Lead for Probe. He will be discussing top skills that employers look for. He is a graduate with a degree in management accounting, a true island boy born and raised in Palawan. He has almost 10 years of working experience, both coming from the government and private sectors that involve industries that specialize in accounting, sales, healthcare, public relations, sourcing, and marketing. He is now working in one of the top RPO companies in the Philippines, a New York Stock Exchange registered company, microsourcing under Probe Group, and as a strategic partnerships lead. He works to expanding the reach of microsourcing to the countryside by offering hybrid and telecommuting work setup and empowering talents in the provinces through competitive job opportunities. Sir Darrell, hi sir, how are you? Yes,
Hi,
there you go.
Shari. Good
Ayan.
afternoon.
Good
Hi,
afternoon,
everyone.
sir. Your deck is up, so
Yeah.
you're loud and clear. I give you 20 minutes and then I'll be back for the Q&A after your presentation. Di pala, sir, yung co-host ko pala. Si Ange
Mhm.
and Josh will do the Q&A. Ayan.
All
So,
right.
sir, the floor is yours.
Thanks, Aimeh. Hi, everyone. So here we are, and I would like to thank Jobs 180 for inviting Pro Group and me as well. So I'm here to discuss the top skills employers look for when hiring. But before that, um, thank you for the introduction earlier, Ms. Shari. So again, I'm born and raised in Palawan, so Puerto Princesa to be exact. So I'm a dog dad, a graduate of management accounting. You can see there on the screen my dog. And never have I thought that I would be able to get a job outside of my province and have to still work or the perk to work around 10 to 15 minutes away from the beach. And as mentioned, I have almost 10 years of work experience coming from different industries. And until I found my niche, which is sourcing and marketing, focusing on strategic sourcing. Which brings me here at Microsourcing as strategic partnerships lead that handles countryside partnership and hiring, in which I would like to briefly introduce our company under Probe Group, which is Microsourcing Philippines, a ProbeCX company. So who are we and what do we offer? So Microsourcing being the leading and best provider of managed operations services in the Philippines. Our growth in the past year is at 20%, having from around 500 to 684 clients year to date and still growing. So currently, we are going around almost 7,000 professionals employed in different industries, 9 sites, mostly in NCR, and we have recently opened 2 new sites in Cebu. So we cater to businesses in 15 countries in the US, Canada, Europe, Australia, and Asia, among 15 industries. And as mentioned earlier, we have around 685 clients. We are also ISO, ISM, and CSM certified, ensuring excellent service delivery to all our stakeholders. Easy to say, we are providing top talents from the Philippines to businesses abroad or around the globe. So here are some of the TA's, our hiring competitiveness. We're offering knowledge services. More importantly, we are hiring for, let me just, there, I can't see, my screen is too small. So yeah, we're hiring coming from IT professionals and what else? Finance and accounting, those are the roles that we want to highlight as early as now for our fresh graduates or graduating students. Human resource management, debt collection, and etc. Another is we have another focus, which is business support services. This involves work under call center services, back office and data processing, administrative support, operations management, and sales as well. And another is we have creative and online services. So these are the roles under those industries. Like for example, we have under creative services, we have roles for creative design, 3D design, video and animation, digital and online marketing, copywriting, web and software developers, and online media management. So our current active hiring or job profiles that we offer is that the top 5 are shown here on the screen. First one, we have the call center operations, and then you guys can see the job titles on the side. IT software and development, around 18% of the total population of the active hirings that we currently offer here at Microsourcing. IT infrastructure, support, corporate, back office, and admin. And of course, we have finance and accounting. So if you think you are fit for the roles that you guys can see on your screen right now, I think you give it a shot. Access jobs180.com/probe and then you can look at the different job openings that we're currently offering, and we can move forward. Now, so heading on to my topic, right? So, top skills employers look for when hiring. So, I'll be sharing with you the result from NACE, or National Association of Colleges and Employers Survey. So, first, let's talk about why do we have to know about this, right? So, throughout this discussion, I want you to reflect on your experiences and really identify if you have the following skills that I will be mentioning, right? So, going through 10, we have 10, right? I want you to remember back in time when you have shown the following skills, and if not, then we know what to do from there. Okay, so this is and will be your brand when you guys will be applying for a job in the future, right? Now, why do I want you to go back to your experiences and check on yourself? Reason behind is that these skills should be shown on your resumes and be mentioned during your interviews, right? And it is proven that these are the most sought after attributes and skills to put there. So I want you guys to take down notes. Grab your pen and pencils and paper as well, right? As a fresh graduate, you don't have that much experience, right? In actual work. And with that, you will be asked by your recruiter or interviewer, or perhaps could be your future bosses. The question, what point in time, or tell me about a time when, or give me an example of, right? Just to give justification on the mentioned or stated skills on your resume or during your interviews. So I hope that you guys understood why does the skills in our resume or during the interviews that you will mention matters. Okay? So let's begin. So the first one, currently at top 10, it's a tall order. Around 60.3% of hiring managers want potential hires with great leadership skills. So believe it or not, there are ways you can show possible employers that you have leadership potential before you even work in the workforce or you enter the workforce. If you held a leadership role in college, for example, you are the president of a club or the student body, highlight it on your resume. If you emerged as the informal leader on a project, right? Or a thesis, talk about the experience and share it with your recruiters during the job interview. Also, get letters of recommendation from former internship managers that speak to your leadership skills. That is our top 10, right? And then number 9, it's detail oriented. According to the survey, it's 62.6% of managers are looking for new graduates that have meticulous attention to detail. As a result, make sure your resume is impeccable, free of typos and grammatical errors, and organized with the use of clear, concise, and effective language, right? Don't play too much on your resumes. Number 8, flexibility and adaptability. So according to the survey, 63.4% of managers are looking for new grads that can roll with the punches and land on their feet. So if you're resistant to change on or learning new things, you'll have a hard time convincing companies that you're worth the effort to train. The pandemic of 2020 taught employees to be ready for just about anything, right? Including a sudden shift from working in an office to working from home. Let it be known that you're not intimidated by change and can adjust accordingly. So for number 7, top 7, many industries, not just jobs in the technology sector, call for professionals with technical abilities. So case in point, 64.9% of hiring managers said new grads should possess technical skills. So you need to put there, describe how you applied your skills. And in the past, for instance, if your resume lists you have a Java experience, if you're in IT, a different language of coding, you must put it there. But it should also describe how you utilize the program on a particular project or in college, because again, you need to justify what you put in your resume. Okay, number 6, strong work ethic. So no matter what field you're in, being dedicated to and engaged with your work is a must. So it says 71% of employers considering you for a position at the company or in the company. Best of all, you don't need any job experience to demonstrate a strong work ethic. You just have to show up, be on time, be committed to doing quality work, and strive for improvement. Right?
Hi, Sir Darrell.
Yeah.
Sir, I have a question.
Yeah.
On your end po ba the slides are moving?
Moving? Yes, it
Kasi
is.
on our end, I just noticed the deck is still on the microsourcing's TA hiring competitiveness.
Okay, sorry. Okay, sorry about that. I'll try to
Can we just
reshare my
reshare?
screen.
Ay, sayang yung slides na prepare niyo, sir. Kasi
Okay, okay.
okay.
Wait, give me a few seconds here.
Sige, sir. I'll wait for it to be okay para before I leave before I leave
Mm-hmm.
the stage.
Right. Okay, probably what happened. I'm not sure. There. I'm already at sixth. Slide 6. Okay, okay. Um, there.
There. Ayan, sir. It's
Okay.
Can you flip
Okay.
through the next slide lang, sir,
Some.
or the previous slide, just so I know. Yeah, yeah, it's moving. Okay na,
Is it
sir.
working? Okay,
Okay, yeah, yeah,
okay.
yeah. Thank you, thank
So for
you.
everyone's view, okay, there we go. Sayang yung slides ko. Okay, so yeah, these are the rows that I mentioned earlier. Let me backtrack a little bit. Yeah, the rows are here, and then of course, right. So why does this matter? Mentioned it earlier. This is and will be your brand. So let me backtrack on that. So top 10, a quick run through or rundown, leadership skills. Top 9 is detail oriented. Wait, let me just fix my screen here a little bit. Okay. And then top 8 is flexibility and adaptability. 7 is technical skills. And number six is strong work ethic. Okay, I think I ended there, right? Okay, now let's move on to top 5 initiative. So this is tied with leadership and technical skills. I have around 72.5% of hiring managers reported they want newly minted college graduates who know how to take initiative. This is where the maxim show them, don't just tell them applies. In the experience section of your resume, cite an example of a time when you deal with a difficult situation in a direct way, or a time when proactive enabled you to head off a problem. Okay. Also, when trying to come up with suggestions or comments, right? Do not be afraid to start new things in the group or to initiate new things. Even if you are just a fresh graduate and you're still in you are in an entry level position, mostly people acknowledge good feedback, suggestions, and yeah. So do not shy away from taking initiative on whatever project that you want to pursue. Okay, top 4, written communication skills. So good communication is always going to be among the top skills employers look for. So the survey found that 73% of managers feel writing proficiency is the most desirable hard skill among recent college graduates. Therefore, submitting a well-crafted cover letter is important, right? Unless required or not required by the job that you're applying for. So you'll want to highlight experiences on your resume that demonstrate your writing skills. So, for example, if you volunteered to be the scribe for a group project in college, or for example, yeah, you can include that on your resume. And depending on the nature of the industry, like for example, is it for marketing purposes, communications purposes, or journalism? So you can state a few, and you might also submit writing samples with your application. And if it really is required on the job that you are applying for, you can submit a writing portfolio. So that'll speak for itself and show what you're capable of producing on the page. Okay, top three, right? So, ability to work in a team. So, it goes without saying that nobody likes the employee who wants to hog the spotlight, right? Or as we call it, bida bida, right? But unlike your career as a student, where you're really the only one who can make or break your success, the workplace depends on teams of people to get the job done. Okay, so it's not one man island, right? So no surprise then that 76% of hiring managers want to know that you can collaborate well with lots of different personalities. So you'll need to learn how to delegate, take direction, value differences of opinion, and also and play to your coworkers' strengths and weaknesses. So being a team player is all about being reliable and trustworthy. Okay, top two. Many hiring managers, this is at 78.6%, one want to hire entry-level workers who possess analytical skills, meaning they're searching for critical thinkers. Okay, people who know how to gather, evaluate information, and then make good decisions based on that intel. So thinking critically and data-driven solutions or responses to your future bosses and supervisor that would really put a brand in your name that you are a true critical thinker and you have such skill. Okay, top one, problem solving skills. So a whopping 85% of employers want to see new college graduates without excellent problem solving skills. Many hiring managers use behavioral interview questions or phrases such as tell me about a time when or give me an example of to assess a job candidate's problem solving ability. That's why I mentioned earlier why is this important, that why do you have to go back to your previous experiences as a student, as a student leader, as an athlete, as a president of an organization, right? Thus, you'll be able to justify your skills. And you want to prepare anecdotes that paint you as a solution fighter. So you don't need job experiences to provide proof that you're a problem solver. So you just need to think about the times where you were proactive, innovative, or highly responsive to a challenge, like the time you helped to solve a customer complaint while working at a campus coffee shop, or even better, show that you took the initiative to identify a problem and then solved it. So, now to summarize my discussion with you guys today, let's conduct a very quick checklist, right? So the top 10 skills employers are looking for on the 10th place, leadership skills, followed by detail-oriented, flexibility, adaptability, technical skills, strong work ethic, initiative, written communication skills, ability to work in a team, analytical skills, and of course, the top one is problem-solving skills. Now, I want you, even though I can't really connect with you guys because you guys are on Facebook, I want you to think and evaluate yourself, right? Rate yourself. How, out of those top 10 skills, how many have you checked that you can confidently say and justify that you possess, right? Are you a 10 out of 10, 7 out of 10, or 5 out of 10? If you guys are on Facebook Live, you can comment your rating to yourself. I think that's a good way so that we'll be able to like really practice and identify for ourselves, right? But just a reminder, do not be pressured if you did not get a high score. Even myself, when I graduated, I think I started roughly around 3 out of 10, right? And look at me now. I'm here talking to you guys and sharing these experiences, right? So watch out for yourselves the coming years to come, right? Okay, so and to give a little something for you guys, you may take a screenshot of the sample skills that you may put on your resume. You just have to make sure that they are true and justifiable with your experiences. And may I go back to what Miss Aimee mentioned earlier? As long as it's relevant to the job position that you're applying for, right? You can take it. And again, take time to really evaluate and go back to your experiences so that, again, you would be confident to mention those and defend yourself during the interview. So remember, those are skills, right? It can be learned. What you are right now is not the end product of your life, right? Or your professional career. So be excited for your growth, your and professional development. Again, those skills are achievable. Expose yourself to new challenges and terrain. And with that, I end my discussion with wise words from one of the greatest hero in the anime world, right? Words from Saitama. If you have the time to break down, you're better off moving forward. Again, thank you, Jobs 180, for inviting Probe Group. My name is Darrell J. Maon, and this has been a pleasure. And see you again.
All right, thank you so much, Mr. Darrell. And now that the talk for topic 3 has ended, we will immediately proceed with a Q&A session. And just feel free to comment down your questions in our Facebook Live and YouTube Live. So, ay mo kao guys, huwag kayong mahihiya.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, for the
All
question.
right, now to give time again for the audiences to think of their questions and to really take in all the information that Sir Daryl has given to us. Um, we will be asking question for Sir Daryl. So first, sir, some companies usually ask the question 10 years or 5 years from now, what contribution can you give to the company or how can you see yourself in the company? What short and concise answer can we possibly answer to that question in order to, prove our skills and that and like prove that one of the skills that we have written in there is checked.
Okay. Um, I think the best answer with that, as a contribution to the company, and of course, being a fresh graduate, right? You can't really align your answer or response to that question to the actual goals, right? Because you don't have an idea yet of the actual setup in the workplace. But you just have to highlight to them that you are one of the greatest investment that they can work on. Again, how would you do that? Show them your values, things, or your work ethic, and the different skills that you want to learn and currently have. Making, again, showing them your brand, basically, like the different skills that you have. How can they contribute to those different skills, and how will that be of use to them?
All right, thank you so much, sir. Again, I have a question, sir. Let's say I'm a fresh graduate. How can I establish a brand for myself so that companies would be attracted to me and they will eventually they'll get me hired because of my skills?
Okay. So, of course, like in my experience, I've been through a lot of interviews as well. Before I got my first job, I think I went around interviews, I think 5 to 7 before I got my first job. And easy to say, I just need to be confident at first. Okay? Because again, pagkakita pa lang sa'yo, pagpasok mo sa interview room, that's your brand already. Like first impressions last, right? But moving over, like along the conversation, your brand will be defined by your resume, right? Your skills and your experiences. Again, going back to the different skills that I mentioned earlier, identify your strength, where you excel. That is your brand to the eyes of the employers or recruiters.
All right, thank you, sir. Now, sir, considering the target audience for this webinar or the fresh graduates, sir, in choosing the business or the company that they're trying to apply on, what different company should they start? Is it small or bigger or like um located nearer than them?
Okay. I think it doesn't matter either it's big or small company, you'd have to go back to what do you want as a person? Like, what is your focus? Or what's your reason why do you want to work? Is it because you want to provide support to your family? Is it because to enrich your skills, right? Again, with my experience, all that I can share is my experience, of course. I've started working in a small company as an accounting associate, and now I'm in one of the biggest companies in the country, right? It's the same. It's how you take the work, how you perceive the work as a contribution to yourself, as an investment to yourself, like your skills, um, when I started as a learning specialist, I'm not this confident at talking to people or speaking in English at all. I think if I would rate myself, I'm a 2 out of 10 when it comes to speaking. And then yeah, it the setup, it doesn't matter as long as you know what is your goal. But if you're looking into the salary wise, right, of course, I would really invite everyone to come and apply at microsourcing, right? So, yeah, going back, it doesn't matter where you are, it's what you make most out of it, out of your situation.
All right, thank you so much, sir. And I think that would be the last question since no question has been raised and no other question has been raised. So with that, our Q&A session for topic 3 has now ended. And to give recognition to the effort of our speaker, certificate of appreciation is given to Mr. Darrell J. P. Maon for sharing his time and expertise as a resource speaker on the topic Top Skills Employees Look For during the job hunting webinar entitled Marketing Me Live, collaboration with jobs180.com, held on November 25, 2022 through Facebook and YouTube live stream.
Given this 25th day of November 2022 at Cebu City, Philippines, signed by Placement Officer, Peso Manager Mrs. Elsa W. Angus, RPM, SDPC Director Dr. Nalva Y. Iglesia, RGC, and VP Academics and Research Reverend Father Jose Alden V. Alipin, OAR.
So once again, sir, thank you so much for having us today.
Thank you,
Thanks
sir.
again, guys.
All right, there we have it. Everything was tackled, right, partner?
Yes. And now we are down to our last topic and for today's webinar.
Last one.
So to introduce our speaker, she started her career in BPO industry in 2003 as a sales representative for Dell. She then moved She then moved back to her province and piloted ESL classes geared toward landing a job in the BPO sector. And in 2007, she started her journey in talent acquisition as a recruitment assistant. She realized that she found her calling and has never looked back since. Her exposure is in talent acquisition operations and sourcing, support volume hiring for retail, finance, travel and hospitality, telecommunications, healthcare, and technology verticals. She is trained and certified to conduct the A method of hiring and has spent more than a decade interviewing applicants. She is from Shearwater Health Advisors. She is none other than Miss Fenina Therese Simando.
Hi everyone, good afternoon. Hi. I'm so excited to be here and thank you for having me over. Ayan. I hope that it's a very good, you guys are experiencing good weather out there and you are now ready to listen to the last topic. And I hope that the energy level is still up, even if you have been listening in for the past couple of hours. So today, I will be talking about the new era of work, which is adapting to the new environment. But first off, let me introduce you to my company, which is Shearwater Health CPO. So, welcome to the home of clinicians. There. We are a multi-awarded clinical process outsourcing company, and we are in the business of sourcing for USRNs, PRNs, USPTs, registered pharmacists, medical coders, BSNs, and graduates of other medical allied courses to support our clients and our partners in the US. That's the US healthcare. Now, we also offer NCLEX Academy Scholarship for our nurses who want to become USRNs and gain licenses to practice in the US. We also offer Medical Coding Academy scholarships, and at the core of our business is we deploy USRNs to the US for free. So that's all expenses paid, licensing, support, etc. To know more about our openings and more about our company, please feel free to log on to jobs180.com/shearwatercpo. There you go. So to start off, let me share with you my Shearwater health journey. So I was born and raised in the province and spent practically most of my entire life in the province. However, when I turned 16, I decided that I wanted to pursue my college education in Metro Manila. So I had to pack up my things and travel alone and traverse the really big city of Metro Manila. So fast forward some years later, I decided to move back to the province to continue um, my career. So I landed a job in a BPO company in Metro Manila, but I decided that I wanted to pursue a career in the province. So that's where I started my journey, as you heard earlier, as a recruiter. Now, I worked in the recruitment industry since 2007, and I've been processing candidates for more than a decade now until the pandemic hit us in 2020. So, first off, or before that, of course, just like with everyone else, I reported to work on site. And when the pandemic hit, we all had to move to a different setup, which was work from home. So, just like with most employees at that time, we were all at a loss at what to do because the new setup was new to us, because it's a new setup. There, it's a joke. All right. So, we had to make do with what we had, and in a very short period of time, we had to make the necessary changes to make sure that business continued and was never disrupted. So a couple of years later, in 2022, our current year, we have now accepted that we are living in the new normal and that things will never be the same again, and we cannot go back to our old lives before the pandemic. So this is the pandemic was really difficult for a lot of people, but this is also where I found a new opportunity with Shearwater Health, and it has opened for me a lot of doors and a lot of opportunities for learning. So I never had any background in healthcare before. Here I am, I found myself working in the healthcare industry. So there are a lot of things that I still need to learn. There are so a lot of adjustments that I have to make, but we tread on. And as they say, in every storm, there's always a silver lining. So what's the point in all this? Why am I sharing my life to the world, right? When we have met each other just a couple of minutes ago. My whole point is, according to Heraclitus, I'm not sure if you know him, change is the only constant in life. So let me repeat that. Change is the only constant in life. If you've never heard of Heraclitus before, maybe you've heard of this next person and you would believe what this person said because he even wrote a song about it. Life is a constant change. So that is from Jose Marichan. Now, whether you have noticed it or not, there are a lot of changes that take place in our lives, whether it's personal or with other people. So, what is change? Let's define that first. Change is to make or become different. That is a definition from Merriam-Webster. And what is it to adapt? To adapt is to become adjusted to new conditions. another definition from Merriam-Webster. So what is it then to adapt to change? According to masterclass.com, adapting to change is a skill that allows you to face new challenges and situations as they arise. So as human beings and as social beings, we are programmed to adapt to change. Now, some of us may have not realized it yet, but every day there are a lot of things that we do to make sure that we adapt to change. Now, how do we adapt to a new environment? I'm sure that there are a lot of you, or most of you here, are graduating or have already graduated and are already working and thinking of shifting to other careers. So there are a lot of things that we need to consider, but I've trimmed it down to three. So whenever we have to adapt to a new environment, there are three things that we need to consider. Number one would be people. Second would be process. And the third would be technology. Okay, so that's people, process, and technology. Let's talk about people first. And this is where I want to put more emphasis in because maybe you haven't noticed it, but we are people, all right? And this is something that we can control because this is our self, and this also includes the people we interact with and the others within our environment. So how do we do this? How do we adapt to our new environment in terms of people? So first off is you have to plan for change. Change is inevitable. Even that term or even that statement can change over time. And there's only, as I said earlier, there's only one thing that is constant in this world, and that is change. And if we learn to accept that, then we wouldn't feel as frustrated as we would if we resist change. So we have to make sure that we plan for change. We also need to keep a positive outlook, and we have to be considerate of others. So as I mentioned earlier, sorry, we have to plan for change. So as I mentioned, anticipate it. So don't resist it as much as you could because there are really things that are bound to happen. So human beings can adapt to change. So again, if we know that change would be coming, then it would be easier for us to adapt to it and learn and to plan and to strategize for it. So always have a contingency plan. If plan A does not work, there are still a lot of letters left in the alphabet. So you can go as far off as plan Z, or maybe repeat the process and go with plan AA, plan AB, and so on and so forth. Next is bloom wherever you are planted. Normally, there are things that happen to us and things that are not desirable, right? The environment might not be conducive. Our circumstances may not be the optimum. We might not be receiving enough sunlight, or the soil may be barren, but we can always bloom wherever we are planted. We can adjust to our environment and make the most of our environment. Next is keep a positive outlook. And this is very important. Have a tough mindset. Mindset ba? Yes, mindset. Our brain controls the rest of our body. And just like what Earl Nightingale said, we become what we think about. So whatever it is that is in your thoughts every day, it becomes your reality eventually. So you have to control what you think, you have to control your thoughts, and you have to make sure that you have a tough mindset, that your mindset is strong and also resilient, that even if you do fall, you'd be able to spring back up and begin again. So the good thing about falling on your back is you are facing upwards and you can definitely rise up again. The brain is an organ, and just like any organ, it becomes stronger with practice. So if you practice keeping a positive outlook and having a tough mindset, eventually it's going to become so strong that even the most catastrophic of calamities wouldn't be able to destroy you. So there are a lot of self-help books available, and there are a lot of podcasts, even if reading is not your thing. So take the time out to read and listen to life coaches. But of course, you also have to be mindful and selective of the people you interact with and the people you listen to. So next is always look for learning opportunities. I'm not sure if you know this, but Steve Jobs dropped out of college, right? Steve Jobs of Apple. So when he dropped out of college, he took up a calligraphy class. So at that time, it didn't really mean anything. It's just a calligraphy class. He was bored. He took it. He learned something from it. What good did happen out of it? Because Steve Jobs took up a calligraphy class, that is the reason why Apple has really awesome typefaces or fonts. So had he not taken that class, then maybe the typefaces of Apple would be boring, right? So always look for learning opportunities. Once the learning stops, the earning stops as well. So even in the toughest of times, even in the toughest of environments, we always have to look for learning opportunities. It does not have to be a formal learning session. Sometimes learning comes outside of the classroom. Next is do whatever it takes. According to Yoda, do or do not, but there is never a try, or something like that, right? But it is okay to try, although chances are it's not gonna happen. It's okay to do your best, but really, um, what is desirable or what is optimum is if you do whatever it takes. So it doesn't matter what hurdles you face along the way or what challenges you face. If you do whatever it takes, then chances are you'd be able to adapt to a new environment. Next is be considerate of others. So we are human beings have emotions, right? I think only androids or cyborgs don't have emotions, but human beings have emotions. There are a lot of things that we are going through, especially now in the past couple of years. So learn to empathize. What is empathy, or how is it to empathize? It is putting yourself in the shoes of others, making sure that you know what they are going through and you sort of have an idea of how it feels to be in their position. By doing so, even probably the most annoying person in the office or in the workplace or in school becomes human to us, right? Because maybe what that person is going through is too huge and too difficult for that person. And if you yourself is placed in that position, you'd be able to understand why that person is acting the way the person is acting. Next is be kind. If you can't be anything else, at least be kind. You don't have to be nice to everyone, but at least you can be kind to everyone. And that comes out of understanding what that person is going through. And of course, since we are in the new normal, we always have to practice safety first. Even if there are a lot, even if we are now lenient and we are now more relaxed in terms of our protocols, we always have to remember that we have to practice safety so that, especially in terms of health, so that this wouldn't affect our work and this wouldn't, put a dent in our financial status. If we get sick, then our earning stops, and that's going to be a challenge for us. So that's it for people. We now move on to process, and this is also where a huge impact um, can be what do you call this? A huge impact can be noticed, or a noticeable impact in the processes, in the way we do things, in the way we transact. Number one is we used to do a lot of face to face transactions. Now, virtual is the way to go. There's mobile banking, online shopping. It's Black Friday today. Who among you have already added to cart and paid for their items? So there are a lot of sales. So now you don't have to go all the way to a brick and mortar establishment to purchase things, to do your groceries, or to go shopping. Everything is available at the tip of your fingers. So every click matters. Next is manual versus automated. When before, a lot of offices are paper based, now offices are transitioning to automated forms. So there's Google Forms, there's Microsoft Forms, and all other forms that can be thought out there because the way that data is being collected nowadays has become automated there. Next is work life balance versus work life integration. Actually, the term work life integration, I've only known about this recently, and this is, I think, brought about by the new generation and also especially by the pandemic. So, when as before, when you clock out of the office at 5 p.m. or 5 a.m., it doesn't matter what time you clock out of the office. Once your work is done, you go out of the office. That's when your personal life starts, right? So there's a complete separation between work stuff and personal stuff. Weekends are sacred and really relegated to doing personal stuff like sports, your hobbies, or cleaning the house, or maybe watching a movie or going on dates. But now, because we have a hybrid setup or we work from home, majority of us work from home, or our classes are also conducted from home, we now have shifted from work life balance to work life integration. I know of a lot of people, and maybe you can also attest to this when you attend classes while cooking, or you are in a meeting while attending to your kids, or maybe you are working while exercising on the treadmill. So eventually, because of what happened to us, it's no longer just work-life balance that we have become accustomed to, but work-life integration as well. So all of these things have melded into one day, and there are no longer clear-cut boundaries and no longer everything just flows, and we're able to accommodate all the things that we want to do in a day because of work life integration there. So we now proceed to the last aspect of our adapting to a new environment, which is technology, and which is equally important as well. So first off is we have learned, or we need to learn to invest in a good internet connection. As I mentioned earlier, we shifted from manual to automated. We shifted from paper-based to online. So it's really important that we have good internet connection. So before, when meetings and classes were face-to-face, now everything, I think the percentage of Zoom usage has really spiked in the past couple of years, so that all other um, meeting rooms, virtual meeting room applications have really boomed as well. So following suit, you have Microsoft Teams, you also have Google Space, etc., etc., where etc., etc., wherein you can conduct or put together even Discord, right? You can hold meetings and talk to people via these applications. The way we do webinars has also changed. So before, you have to go to an actual place to attend seminars like this. However, now I'm sitting from my province in Kamsur, and you are all the way in the Visayas in Cebu, but we are still able to communicate because of our online presence. So really it's important that we invest in a good internet connection. Once you start looking for jobs, and if you prefer to work from home or a hybrid setup, this is one of the things that will be asked from you. Do you have a good, stable internet connection, reliable, that will not hamper you from doing your work um, every day, right? So make sure that you invest in a good internet connection and you have a backup internet connection as well if things don't, or if your current provider does not perform well at any given time. There. Next is familiarize yourselves with efficiency apps. There's a plethora of applications that are available online. Things that make you work smarter or study smarter. And since everything is available online, um, maximize it. Make sure that you familiarize yourselves with these efficiency apps to make our lives easier. So back then, we didn't even have Google, right? When you're looking for work, you had to subscribe to a newspaper, look for the classified ad section, and then you have to go to the actual offices, submit, print hundreds of copies of your resumes and your CVs, and then walk the entire Ayala Avenue in Metro Manila, or maybe in your case, walk the entire IP park so that you'd be able to look for jobs that are hiring. But now you have Jobs 180, right? Helping you out land that dream job of yours. So make sure that you take advantage of everything, the virtual world and everything that it has to offer by familiarizing yourselves with these applications and portals. And next, even if you have good internet connection, even if you have become familiar with these efficiency apps, if you don't have a good sustainable power supply, then everything else wouldn't really matter, right? So please make sure that you always have a backup power supply. Nowadays, so there are a lot of new ways to make sure that we have continuous power supply. So there are solar panels for laptops, solar panels for routers. There are also power banks that are geared towards providing power supply to laptops and routers. So please make sure that you invest in a good sustainable power supply as well. Some of these things may be pricey right now, but that's the reason why we use the word invest, because if these things are still good to go 2 to 3 years along the way, then you know that um, you have your money's worth, and these things have will really give you good service there. So I know that adapting may not be as easy as we think it would be, but really everything else would be up to us. So I hope that these tips would help you along the way. We just have to remember that change is always there. So it all starts with accepting it. According to Charles Darwin, it is not the strongest of the species that survives, nor the most intelligent that survives. It is the one that is most adaptable to change. So think of the dinosaurs. At one point, they were the biggest, and they were, they roamed the earth, but eventually they were not able to adapt to change, and they are now extinct. Compare that to the lowly cockroach, who has survived millions of years. That species has survived millions of years because they are able to adapt to change. And with that, I thank you all for your time, and I hope that you were able to learn something. Again, my name is Nina. I'm from Shearwater Health CPO. Good afternoon, everyone.
All right. Thank you so much, Miss Amanda, for the very informative talk. And for the last session, the floor is now open for all your queries and our dear audiences, just comment them down in our Facebook or YouTube live stream. But before that, I give you time also to think of your questions. Let me ask Miss Simando a few questions. So here's
Sure.
the first questions, Miss. You mentioned about empathizing and being kind. What are the limitation of empathizing and being kind to others in an organization wherein your help or service can be taken for granted in the business world, leading you to be in a bad position na lang it is.
Parang may hugot ang tanong na yan. Based on personal experience.
Experience.
Yes. That's a very good question because even if you do, sometimes we don't know the clear cut time wherein we have to continue being kind. But as a general rule, really, I'm not sure if it's just my screen. It's kind of blinking right now. But I hope that everything else is okay on your end. Okay naman. Okay, all right. So it's just from my end. So going back, I believe that even if a person is really not that good, you just have to kill them with kindness because eventually they will realize their folly and they will realize that what they're doing is not good. And if they don't, then we move on. We always take the emotional high ground and we become the bigger person. So it's okay to call them out. Should you call them out? Yes, if it's necessary, but do so in a polite and also do so in a professional manner. Just make sure that you keep your facts straight. Stay with the facts. Don't let your emotions get in the way, especially now wherein people have mobile phones that have cameras and whenever something undesirable happens, they take out their phones and take videos. So once it's uploaded on the internet, it's very difficult to take it down. So always remember that. So if all things fails, just kill them with kindness. Usually the public will always side with the one who is kind versus the one who indulges in bardagulan, if you know what I mean.
All right, Miss, thank you so much. How about our audiences? Do you guys have any questions for Miss Simando? All right, there we have it. Since we don't have any further questions, and I think our audiences have also digested all those information. With that, our Q&A session for topic 4 has now ended. To give recognition to the efforts of our dear speaker, the certificate of appreciation is given to Ms. Fenina Simando for sharing her time and expertise as a resource speaker on the topic The New Era of Work during the job hunting webinar entitled Marketing Me Live in collaboration with jobs180.com, held on November 25, 2022 through Facebook and YouTube live stream. Given this 25th day of November 2022 at Cebu City, Philippines, signed by Placement Officer Peso Manager Mrs. Elsa W. Angus, RPM, our SDPC Director Dr. Nelba Y. Iglesia, RGC, and our VP Academics and Research, Reverend Father Jose Alden D. Alipin, OAR. Once again, thank you so much, Ms. Imando, for gracing us with your presence today. Maraming salamat po and God bless with everything that you do. Now,
Thank
to wrap
you.
up, yeah, to wrap up all of this in this webinar, let us hear from the other co-host, Mr. Graham Nush Alcacaba, the fourth year USJR Vice President.
Good day, everyone. First of all, I would like to express my deepest gratitude to the speakers and organizers for their great contribution during our job hunting webinar. I would like to express my appreciation to my fellow Hosanians for attending this webinar and to those who made this a successful event. So, indeed, it was a learning experience for all of us here today. We were enriched with new, useful knowledge that can be useful in our future careers and endeavors. In the first topic, we have learned so much about how to create a resume link. And for the second topic, we were able to know the do's and don'ts before, during, and after an interview with a company that you're applying for. And the third topic was about the top skills that employers look for. And finally, but definitely not the least, the last topic was about the era of new work. With that, I would also like to take this opportunity to thank and appreciate the Jobs180.com for partnering with us, with my alma mater, University of San Jose Recoletos. And I am sure that you have opened doors of opportunities for our graduating students. Thank you so much. And like what they say, every beginning has an end. However, every end is a beginning of something else. And that's when you start to apply your learnings in our day to day lives. Once again, a pleasant afternoon to you all and adelante. Okay,
Thank you so much, Nosh and Angie, for being my co-host for today. You did great, guys. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So I'll put you down and then I'll show the evaluation. So to everyone who's watching us, please don't forget to evaluate. We'll put this in the comment section. Um, Please evaluate within today. So this will be the basis of your attendance. So this is the form is under the control of the USJR placement office. So with that, we thank you guys for joining us today. We invite you to also watch out for the next set of webinars that we are hosting for other universities. So you may check our Facebook page for the topics, and if you're interested for the topics that will be discussed, you're welcome to join in any of those sessions for free. Okay? So we also invite you to join our job seeker community on Facebook. It's facebook.com/jobs180 job seeker. So we're slowly building content on that. But for today, we're all set. We're done. Happy Friday, everybody, and thank you to the team behind the event. So USJR, Miss Elsa, and the placement office, and also to Noosh and Angie. So thank you so much, everyone. Have a great afternoon. Stay safe.
Forward, radiant children. Forward, joyful youth. Forward, men and women. Forward, let us move to a new world, through a new you. Forward
Jollibee Foods Corporation is one of the largest and fastest growing Asian restaurant companies in the world. Home to formidable brands with Jollibee at the helm. It operates over 5,800 stores spanning 35 countries across Asia, North America, and Europe. From its humble ice cream house beginnings to becoming a dominant industry leader, JFC's business model has sustained profitable growth for 4 decades, evidenced by its steadily increasing net sales, profit, and stock market performance. It is the recipient of numerous international accolades, from Best Employer to Most Outstanding Corporation, to Asia's most admired company. JFC continuously gives back to the communities it operates in through the Jollibee Group Foundation. Its core programs are centered on food security, alleviating hunger so children can continue their schooling, and connecting small farmers to sell their produce to large institutions to uplift their livelihood. Through consistent taste superiority, outstanding value for money, and the highest quality of food, service, and cleanliness, coupled with the talent and commitment of its world-class organization expanding across the globe, JFC delivers on its mission to bring the joy of eating to everyone. Taking it closer to its vision of becoming one of the top 5 restaurant companies in the world. This is Jollibee Foods Corporation.